Welcome everybody to the CrossFire podcast. We appreciate the audience hanging around. We've all got busy lives. That's what's going on, folks. We all work a lot, and we're all getting here as soon as we can. So, want to go ahead and start CrossFire a little different than we usually do. I'd like to personally dedicate this episode of CrossFire to Matt, who's better known in the community as Xbox Addict. I gave a small speech on Xbox Nation, and I'll keep it a little bit shorter because we're going to have something quite nice on MNC Mornings this week for Matt. But Xbox Addict was a true pioneer and leader in the community. He was very good friends with a lot of the executives at Microsoft. I think he was a lot of friends with all of us. I know myself personally, have had multiple conversations. He's been on CrossFire multiple times. And he is truly, truly missed throughout the community. And I think it's an amazing feat to see the streams that are going on to help support his family. I love to see all the people changing their Twitter icons in respect of Matt. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is go down the panel and introduce everybody a little bit slower and a little more quieter in respect for Matt's passing. And let me start with the one and only, the man himself, Crap Gamer. Crap, welcome to Crossfire.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, it's a bit of a kind of a somber week because Xbox Addict was such a big part of the community, and the interaction. Like, what was cool about him was he didn't really care, like the fanboy stuff. He was Xbox all the way, but like the fanboy stuff he didn't really buy into. So it was cool. Like if you gamed on something else, that's fine. He was just an Xbox guy. And I think even people that were Nintendo or PlayStation dudes respected the guy and liked the guy. And I think that says a lot for him. And the fact that he was all about his family, and he kept on plugging away. You know what I mean? Like he had a lot of hardships and things like that, but he really was able to kind of overcome that. And you hear so much about negativity when it comes to gaming, and he gave a really good speech and recorded it about how video games actually help people so much, and that's really incredible to see, and he was just a really good guy, man, and he's going to be missed. And I was looking at his profile today, and his thing says his location is Xbox Heaven, and I thought, that kind of got to me there for a little. You know what I mean? Like it's such a sad time, But he was a good guy, and he's going to be missed in the community. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
I appreciate that, Crap. And it's kind of just it's kind of surreal, to be honest with you, that a lot of times I'll just go over to check Xbox Addict's page, and to see that he was just tweeting out awesome Xbox stuff just a short time ago. Yeah. But let me go down in Xbot 448. Welcome to the show, buddy. Lucky to have you here with us on Crossfire. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, as usual, man. It's another Friday, another stellar panel. And when it comes to Xbox Addict, you guys know I'm not a person to get jealous or anything like that. But if there was one person on social media to make me jelly, it was Xbox Addict. All the different limited edition Xbox stuff that he showed, man. He is one of the many like beating hearts to this community, and I know he is definitely going to be missed. I'm a big Walking Dead fan, so to see everybody with the Xbox Addict logo out there on Twitter, they just got done with the saviors, and every savior was always like, "I am Negan," and I guess we could say we are Xbox Addict from going forward, man.
Awesome. Well put, Xbot. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And let me go down to Mr. Boomstick, Senor Boombastic. Boom, welcome tonight. And anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. I talked with Matt several times. And he was responsible. See, what a lot of people didn't know about him is he was very selfless. For someone who had so much, he was always willing to give. I don't think a lot of people know that, because when I was having my issue with, the controller, where they sent me a regular Elite instead of the Gears, without even me asking, he reached out to Aaron Greenberg and had Aaron contact me directly. That was all because of Matt, and I didn't even ask him for that. You know,
it's interesting, Boom, because I knew about that, but I didn't know Matt was.
He was responsible. Them and another company, but he headed that, and he got in touch directly with Aaron Greenberg, and it's because of him because of that selfless act. You know, he was like, this is not right. This is, shouldn't happen to you. I'm going to get involved. And he got involved, and I didn't even ask. And you know, again, it's that kind of behavior that you don't see a lot of. You don't see people that are selfless, and he was. And him not being in the community. I mean, I used to sit and watch his videos where he was doing like a tour of his room, and I would be in awe. I mean, there was not a truer Xbox fan than Matt.
Right. No, thank you, Boom. I appreciate that. I'll go down to Alan Walsh of Full Throttle. Alan, how are you? And welcome to CrossFire tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thanks again. It's been an emotional week. I like Matt, he's very special to, I think, everyone in the Xbox community. He was inspirational. He was really kind-hearted. Like, he always put everyone else first. He was just so passionate for Xbox and for everyone in this community, and the people that worked at Xbox, and he always just spread such positive vibes. Like, I was always a big fan of his. I admired everything he did. I loved his collection, and his passion always made me smile. I loved when he'd be at E3 and when he'd be at FanFest, and it was always incredible to see. And I really hope there's something special done for him at E3 this year, because I think it's safe to say he was and is the beating heart of Xbox FanFest.
I totally agree with that, Alan, and thank you. Italian Clowns, my paisano from the South. Paisan, anything you'd like to say? And welcome to Crossfire.
Yeah, Matt was a great guy, and he was very selfless, like Boom and everybody else on the panel alluded to. And for somebody who faced so many different obstacles, he had given me hope as well, because I face multiple disabilities, and he's always inspired me. And me and Matt, we've talked before, and he's actually opened up to invite me to his house just to see his collection. He's a really nice guy, and I'm going to miss him, man.
Yeah, no, well said. And, now we go into our special guests that are with us. Let me give a formal introduction to the beautiful and very intelligent Delilah HD. Delilah, thank you for being here tonight. It's a privilege to have you on the panel.
Oh, wow.
And
thank you, Mooch. I do appreciate it. Just to kind of echo what these guys have said here on the panel, and thank you for having me on. I do appreciate it. But I agree. Matt was amazing. I got a chance to meet him at last year's E3, and he was just the nicest, coolest dude. You could tell just from his expressions how excited he was just to even be there, and he just loved it through and through. And I just kind of regret that I didn't get a chance to get a picture with him because my phone had died. So, but yeah, I mean, thank you, Matt. I mean, his family, condolences and everything. So he will definitely be missed.
Very cool to hear, Delilah. Thank you. And we're really glad to have you with us tonight. And certainly not least, a very good friend of mine, Predator H2O. Pred, welcome back to Crossfire. You've become almost like that man off the bench. It's just he's like, listen, if I'm available, I'm coming into the game. So, Pred, welcome back to Crossfire. It's always good to have you. Anything you'd like to say?
Thanks for having me on again, man. Yeah, man, I didn't know Matt. I just follow him on Twitter. When I started out just messing around with Twitter, he's one of the first followers. I saw his collection. I was like, this guy's amazing. Like, I'm looking at it right now as we're talking. Like, I'm looking at his pinned tweet. Is like his room is just, it's immaculate with how much stuff this guy had. And I've never heard him say anything negative on Twitter. He's all 100% Xbox. And he's gonna be missed in the community. So I mean. Shout out to his wife or his mom, I think it was, that let everybody know what was going on. Because I literally was sitting there thinking, like, man, I haven't seen a tweet from Xbox Addict in a while, and then come to find out,
right,
what had happened. So, fellow military member as well. So
yes,
he will be missed.
Yeah, let's keep that in mind with everybody. He was not just a huge fan of Xbox, but thanks for bringing that up, Predator. He was served our country well. And he's also, I think, first and foremost, wants to be known as a family man. Loved his wife and kids very much. And please do check out MNC Mornings. We have something quite special we're putting together in Matt's honor Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Really would like you guys to stop by and see it. Now, listen, the one thing that Matt would have wanted us all to do is to talk about video games. It's what we do. It kind of gets our mind off of reality. It's why we do this. Getting into it.
Well, Matt would think it's been a slow news week, right?
Well, I'm not sure, knowing the way You know, I put in one of the subject lines here, you know, God of War is out, and God of War's already game of the century. So, you know, this show could almost be about 15 minutes long and just say, well, God of War is out. Good night, everybody. So let's put it this way. Let me start with a few folks that I know have been playing it over the course of the past few, 12 hours or so. Let me start with Senor Bombastic and Predator. You guys have got a good amount of hours into this game. Can you guys give the audience, and we're not doing any spoilers tonight, folks. Right. No one here, I believe, is past 3-4 hours in. Right. What do you guys think about the game? Is all the hype, is it warranted?
I'll let Predator go first. Yeah, Pred.
I am enjoying the game. It's you know, for me, I'm typically a shooter / multiplayer type guy. So it's good to break away from that every now and then and play something that's really story driven. I think this is a really, really good game. I know a lot of people call it a game of the millennium, but I don't see it that way yet. As far as much as I'm into the game, it has some similarities to a lot of other stuff that I've played in the past, the single player stuff. But I'm enjoying it. I'm trying not to talk about any spoilers in the game, so I'm pretty far in it right now. But it's a really good game. If you're a gamer, you're a fan of any game whatsoever, just a gamer in general, this is definitely a game you have to pick up.
So here's the thing. I mean, I've seen it. We've all seen it. We're kind of at a point right now where we're like, I mean, I think there's just a lot of people be like, oh my God, it's over the top. I've played about an hour. I got home just a short time before CrossFire started, so I haven't gotten a chance to play it today. I did play it at midnight when it released. I personally am liking it a lot. There's Xbox phone, folks, in case anyone was wondering. That train's never late. So what I was going to say was,
well, I think you have to say Superman while you're talking about God of War, man.
Of course, right? I think I myself love the direction they're taking it in.
Yep.
It's way too early for me to tell you that this thing is game of the year. However, I like that they left the wacky camera angles and they're going more to this over-the-shoulder look. Boom. How about you? Now, you've seen that. I think maybe you and Pred have the most hours into it. What's your take with the general consensus that's on the media right now? Everyone's just loving it.
Well, here's the thing, okay? If you are a fan or not of The Last of Us, the first 10 minutes of that game, it grabs you in an emotional way that you were shocked, right? Like, I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, I know 5 years later, someone.
No, I was shocked in the beginning, and then it fell off a cliff.
Well, I mean, that's you, brother. But you start God of War, right? And I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I'm saying that there is an emotional grab immediately that puts this in front of the other God of War, where it was just an angry Kratos who screamed and wanted to kill everything in front of him. And this is a different Kratos. And the story that's being told around this different Kratos is, again, I'm only 3-4 hours into it. And if I can hear the game over my PlayStation 4 Pro, I might enjoy it more. I don't know, because it is very loud, but it really is a great direction. The story so far is, like I said, it's nothing like you've played in the God of War. Now, that may be good for others and bad for some, but for me personally, I am absolutely loving it. And I agree with the mass media that's saying this game is that good.
So let me do this, because I want to be well aware, and because we all got in a little bit late due to work. Delilah, are you currently playing God of War?
I am not. I haven't picked it up yet. So
okay, but do you plan to?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so from the outside looking in, and believe it or not, listen, I played an hour of it, but let's be honest, me and you are on the exact same field right now, okay? Because I can't say anything, no, 45 minutes. Yeah. What is your take from the tweets and the articles and the nonsense? I mean, we have well played. Listen, I always said you only give Sony credit when it's due. And I will tip my cap to Sony by allowing the embargo to lift and the reviews to come out a full week ago. Yeah. It has been nonstop. Delilah, what's your take on it before you even play this game?
Wow. I mean, my expectations are a bit mixed. I touched a little bit on this on the Grown Women Gaming podcast last week. It's that, because you had one reviewer come out and say, oh, the game is like roughly like an 8.5, which is a great score.
It is.
And you have like the mass majority saying, oh, it's a 10. It's a perfect game. And in my mind, no game is perfect. And so a game with the amount of hours and length that it takes to complete that game, it's no way that up consistently throughout. Now, if they were able to pull it off, then I'm all for it. Don't get it twisted. I am definitely looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's just one of those things. So I'm going in with a little bit more skepticism than most people. So.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I've only got 45 minutes to an hour into it. So the review, or what I say, please take it with a grain of salt. I don't mean it this way, but thus far, I do want to go early reviews and discussions on Horizon Zero Dawn were also very, very highly rated. Right. There were certain people that were saying it was also immediate game of the year. And I thought it fell very flat.
I did too.
Personally. Right, Crap? Now, Crap, have you got a chance to play God of War, Crap?
Yeah, I'm about 3 hours in.
What's your take after all this hoopla?
I think it's good. I think it's a very good game. They definitely, you could tell that studio is inspired by the other studios going on at Sony right now. You know, it's like
I like that. Inspired. You're being nice.
I know, right? Well, you can't really say anything negative, right? People get upset. No. So,
that's right.
To be honest with you, they're inspired by the other studios and the other stories going on. You know, hands down, it's an amazing looking game. It's you know, the direction that they took it with the Norse mythology is pretty cool, and they do a good job of just kind of getting you know, kind of hooked on it right away with how it opens and things like that. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think they did a really good job with it. You know, it's more almost RPG-ish. You know, they have like the upgrade trees and stuff like that, and the crafting and things like that. So, you know, hats off to them, man. They put out a quality product, and I think it's, you know, something that, you know, well-deserved, the praise and things like that. So congrats to them.
Go ahead, X-Bot. I want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, well, I got to say, first of all, I started getting into God of War basically this past year. I started playing God of War 3 remastered on the PS4, and I love the speed and the hack and slash of that game. I do have to say, with what they did to change this, to me, this looks like a very slower paced game. And with me being such a Halo fan, I got to say, I really want the God of War fans as Halo fans, because every time a Halo comes out that does just the littlest thing that's new, dude, a huge part of that community just starts bashing it and trying to trash it and everything like that. Right. When God of War takes such a drastic turn in how the game is presented and the gameplay and everything like that, all of a sudden there's perfect 10s across the board. Now, I'm with Delilah. I don't believe that there's any perfect game. I don't believe in really giving a game a 10. But if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Just like people were saying with Sea of Thieves, you know, this game's not for everybody. Well, even though God of War is getting such high reviews and stuff like that, this game's not going to be for everybody. So for people out there trying to like bitch at people, well, yo, you should buy this game. You're not a real gamer unless you play this game. You should be hyped about this game. It is their prerogative. It is their money on what they're going to spend their games on. And me, I didn't invest in this day one. I can wait for this game. So.
Well, I think you're entitled to your opinion, Xbot. And actually, to be honest with you, it's refreshing to hear one person in the past 2 weeks not just cheerlead the damn thing. So yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, your opinion is very, very welcome. Alan, what about you, Alan? Have you picked it up, or do you even plan on picking it up?
So I haven't picked it up yet, but I do want to get it because I think it looks like a stunning game, and it's actually the first Sony exclusive in quite a while where I'm like, I think I need to get this game. So yeah, I definitely want to pick it up. Now, I was saying before, a few weeks ago, that I was thinking of upgrading to the PS4 Pro for it, but I've been reading online that the difference actually isn't that significant.
Alan, you know, I didn't even have to give Alan any kind of a footnote or anything to go into this. I want to say a shout out in the community and to Twitter to Miss LB, Miss Boogie. She said something this morning on Twitter I thought was absolute Pulitzer. It was wonderful. It's music to my ears. There's a lot of people that have reviewed the game, and they even put it in their review that they have played God of War on a vanilla PS4, and they say it looks marvelous. It is absolutely breathtaking. And there's even other reviewers that have said, I've played it on both to check it out, and they both look absolutely stunning. Now, that sounds like positive news. Here's the thing, and again, shout out to LB for this because she came up with it, is that she said if this was reversed and the X had a game come out that was an exclusive, Microsoft game, and it looked the same on the S and the X, the media would have torn the X to shreds and been like, I just wasted $500 and so did you. My S does what my X can do. But no. Not when it's Sony. Everything's fine. So whether you have a PlayStation 4 from day one or you went and up-resed, or up-purchased the Pro, the game looks almost eerily similar on both. Now, weren't we promised a more resolution, better this, better that? They're saying it looks pretty much the same on both consoles. That's what the reviewers are saying, not Mooch, the reviewers. You
were promised dynamic resolution. And for people who are casual gamers, dynamic just sounds like even better than regular resolution.
Well,
dynamic 4K.
Can I just throw something in there? I get what you're saying, Mooch, and you're right, because we're going to talk about the double standard of the media, which is literally, again, if you don't see it, I get you, but I have an eye doctor that will take your insurance. Okay, I will. He'll take 25% off because I know you, so you'll be okay. Now, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying about there's no real difference. And I'm sure that there's something, but you have to say again, not playing Defense Force for Sony, because I just call it like it is. Right. It is pretty unbelievable that they could get this game running on a vanilla PlayStation 4.
But listen, don't get me wrong. That's
really,
that's great.
They did
I
Until Dawn.
want to say Uncharted looked fantastic on the base PS4. That's what I played that on, and it looked amazing.
Yeah, it did. It looked fantastic. And so did the DLC, the Lost Legacy as well.
Yeah, so they do stuff. It's like, I'm not sure what engine they're using on that, but it's to me that game very looks inspired. Horizon Zero Dawn,
absolutely,
and maybe a little bit of Uncharted in there as well. So
yes,
it's they've done a good job, but I you'd have to think that they mostly started working on that game on the PS4 hardware.
Probably, yeah.
They said it took 5 years. The Pro came, you know what I'm saying? So obviously they started working on that thing mainly for the original PS4, and then probably the upgrades are the last thing they worried about. But it does. It looks really good.
But crap, what's your take on this though? I mean, you don't think if this was an Xbox product that we would be getting articles like, I bought an X and I've been shamed?
I've been duped.
I've been duped.
You would, but that's just how it is, man.
Yeah.
Look, I hate to say anything. There's hard to really say anything else. It's like, here's the problem, right? You say the truth.
Right.
People think you're salty or damage controlling.
Right.
They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear that this game is perfect and that it's the best looking game ever and it's the game of the generation.
It is kind of funny to read people on Twitter. It's like two people that are agreeing with each other. They're like, do you think this game is perfect or perfect?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm watching these two people have a conversation, and it's like, we're doing
a poll. So God of War, perfect or perfect?
Right.
It's perfect.
You know what I mean? It's literally like putting somebody in a circular room and asking them to look for a corner.
Yeah.
They're just walking around in circles for hours.
Again, it amazes me how such a change in a franchise and how so many people can adopt and accept it. And then you look at the other games like Uncharted and The Last of Us and everything like that, and there's like this blueprint there. So what are you going to do? Are you going to take your first party exclusives that are story driven and you're gonna use that blueprint like across the board for them? I don't understand that.
It looks good. I play it in the resolution mode.
That's how I play it as well.
You know, like it seemed like the draw distance was pretty crummy in the other mode. So
I didn't like the 1080p mode either.
Yep. So, like that for me. So, it plays good, to be fair. Like I had noticed any frame rate drops or anything like that. If you like those really cinematic experiences, then that's going to be a game for you. Like it's a very, very cinematic experience, very cinematic. And, it's like there's a certain type of gamer out there loves that experience. And for that gamer, man, that's going to be your heaven.
I will say this much in its defense, what I have enjoyed in the hour that I've played, this is the first time, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, that are God of War fans, you're going to be like, no, Mooch, it's been there the whole time. for some reason, when you were like this little figurine, you know, like especially when the camera panned away in the first 3, and you're just flailing your chains. I'm like, that didn't feel so god. This starts off, and it's not spoilers, guys. It's the first scene when you're carrying that tree.
Yeah,
and like he's handling the tree the way we handle a popsicle stick. And I'm like, you know what? I felt like a god. I really did. You feel like a god in the game. I like that. I will say this much, and I wish I hadn't read it ahead of time, but I had read in one of the reviews how they were saying how they really utilize the rumble feature in the DualShock, which they usually don't, right? Yes. So when you throw that axe, you really, when it comes back, the vibration from right to left throughout the actual controller is done very well. So it's a lot of these things that kind of give you that feeling that you feel like you're really Kratos. So I will say that is a major,
like when you throw the axe and catch it, you feel that thump, like you feel
it's like a vibration that you caught something coming back.
Yes. Absolutely.
So shout out to Alan Savage. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Money.
Alan is a good, dedicated fan.
He really is. And I like to say what Crap says. I don't know. Somebody sounds like they have a subwoofer in the background.
Sorry, that's me. Bad.
Oh, is that Delilah? Okay. So here's my other thing. I do want to say Crap always yells at me for not saying it. Please, dude, hit the like button on the show. Please subscribe. We are going to be talking about a lot of different things here. I do want to I don't want to leave God of War yet, because you can't have 2 weeks of tweets and then all of a sudden just kind of. Does anybody else, Pred?
I'm interested to see what some of these Xbox dudes think of it. You know, I'm really interested to see what like Mikey Barra has to say about the game. He's going to be streaming it this weekend, it looks like.
Yes.
You know, Stein, he's all geeked out on it. So I'm interested to hear. I'm interested to see. You know, a few days later, how the Xbox executives and employees think about the game. You know?
You said you're about to say it right, how they promote it.
I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that, Predator, but I'm just interested on their thoughts and opinions on the game. I mean, what can I say? I mean, like you know, they know
they're promoting Mixer, man. They're not.
Yeah, I mean,
they're promoting Mixer. Let's get it right.
Mixer, and I'm sure that's what Mike's doing too. You know,
I want to put in here.
Fantastic, man, fantastic.
And say, now I'm not sure if this is the 100% truth, but I do have a suspicion that they might have sent pros to Mixer streamers to stream God of War on Mixer.
Oh,
that would be kind of cool.
I didn't get one. I didn't get one.
Do not quote me on that. That's only a suspicion I have from things I've seen.
I'm going to Reddit right now.
That's
nice.
That's pretty cool. Nice. I mean, like you're talking about like the partnered people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe so.
They didn't just pick people out of a hat and like have a pro.
No.
Yeah. I mean, well, no. Look, hey, you want to get your? I mean, you can't blame them. Microsoft did the same thing with the X, right? They're like, here's an X and a bunch of old stuff because we weren't smart enough to come out with anything new to really show it off. So here's a bunch of old games and a couple multiplats. So it's good stuff.
Well, what do you guys think about this? We'll take the two subjects, we'll mush them together. We all know what happened last night. IGN went ahead and put out that Facebook.
They stole my shtick.
They really did. They really did. We're really upset. Crap's looking for royalties.
I got messages. They're stealing your ideas. I'm like, well, I mean, come on. But again, like I did a video about this. I thought it was like it is what it is. Like you got to take your lumps, you know. Like we don't have anything like that. It just right now it comes at a bad time.
But you know, so crap.
People feel bad enough about Xbox right now. It's like, and I've told this story before. There was so much hate for the Xbox One at launch. Like the night of the midnight launch, I told my brother, I was like, maybe I won't even get it, man. The internet hates this damn thing. Like all I'm going to get is hate if I buy this thing, right? And like that's how you feel, and that's how almost it is again, which is sad that we've come, 5 years later, and it's back to that point. But it was a social media person, not representative of all of IGN. It was a joke. The people that actually worked there, Destin and Ryan, apologized and they pulled it down. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I understand why people would be upset because this is a big media outlet and you would expect them to be unbiased. And so when you see something like that, you get that, like, because we already know that there's a favoritism. if
Yes,
not biased,
100%.
for PlayStation. So that makes it all the worse. And like you confirm your stuff, and Xbox dudes are like, you see, and PlayStation dudes are like, it's just a social media thing. But for me, it'd be like I'm watching a Ravens versus Pittsburgh Steelers game, and the announcers are wearing Steelers gear and cheering for Ben Roethlisberger.
That's right.
Like that's not going to be something that I'm happy about.
I'll cheer for him, but you won't. I get it. I totally get
Oh,
it.
yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
here's my thing. If Microsoft's going to do this, I only ask one thing. Like, just put everything out there, just like we're asking at E3 for the roadmap. Tell us why the mantra at Redmond is gamers are games and games are gamers. Tell us why this is what it is. I just want to know. Like, is it because you guys all have your hand in the pockets of Nintendo and Sony now? Is that why? If it is, that's fine. Then we just know that there is no competition because you're making money on Sony. That's fine. We all kind of know this in the background, but just come out and say, be like, you know what? We at Xbox are capitalizing on games. Thank you. And leave the stage. Like, it's over. You don't have to do, because this whole thing where like I represent gamers and I like games. I like people who play games. What the hell are you talking about? Like, as far as we know, you're in competition with Sony because Sony is definitely in competition with you.
Yes.
You know? And that's the part that we all thank you. Shout out to Stop 6 Doc. Really appreciate that. But like, in all honesty, that's the thing I have a problem with. And I think the media does this. This was all over Twitter today. Like, the media does this because they can. Because Microsoft they're soft.
Yes.
And they don't care.
Yep.
They'll only call out Jez Gordon for stories.
Right.
Yeah. That's the truth because
that's a great point. That's who they call out is, and Jez does a hell of a job, by the way. I'm probably his number one fan.
Does an amazing job. Like his Xbox coverage is unbelievable. I read so much of his stuff, and it's like, like a quick wouldn't hurt. Rather than calling him out publicly like that. Like, Jez got a lot of like really negative tweets sent to him over like this latest incident, and I just think it's unfair because he does such incredible work, and he always puts Xbox fans first.
He does.
He really does.
Well said, Alan.
I gotta say, when it comes to this apology and everything like that, is it really anything for them to come out and apologize? Like, the damage has already been done. I heard what Crab said, that we don't really have anything similar on our platform. But the way I looked at it was, when it comes to gamers.
Hey, let me interrupt you real quick, Xbox, because Philosopher Doom says something interesting. He says, has nothing to do about salty. He says, you're advertising for another company while your consumer base is starving for games. What do they invest in the platform for? I think that's what it comes down to for a lot of people, right? Right. Now you can go ahead. That was a good point. I wanted to kind of.
Yeah, no, I got you, man. And but like, people are saying, well, they apologized and they took it down. Guess what, guys? The damage has been done. I looked at it like, if somebody was like, because on Facebook there are many different types of people around there, and of course, if you're getting into games, you're hearing about IGN and then possibly GameSpot, but IGN up front, right? So if you want to see anything about gaming news, and then you go to their Facebook page and you see that up there, you got to be brand new to gaming to not know that God of War is an exclusive to PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? So to put that other side, Xbox, and have a black screen, I know Kraft said it was because maybe we don't have anything similar, but if you take it for exactly how it was up there, I don't even care if it's a joke or not. It's stupid, man.
Yeah, look, it's I think it doesn't work with everything. You can't put NAC 2 up there and go,
dude, what if I did that with Forza Horizon?
There would probably be something, right? Because if you look at what people search for on Google and Amazon, they search for Forza Horizon 3 on PS4. So that would be apt. But the problem with this is it's a 95 rated Metacritic game. People are saying it's the game of the generation. And so I think that's what it was a little bit like they were just trying to say, hey, you can play this on PlayStation. It's like,
well, you would expect that from the development site or from PlayStation themselves, but to go to big gaming media.
My biggest problem, Xbox, with all of this, and we're going to get to Chris's, thank you very much, Chris, for the super chat, but hear me out. My problem with this whole thing is that these guys are the ones that the minute you do this, what we're doing now, and we're like, IGN shouldn't do this, you know what they do? Stop it, you fanboy. They just turn it around, right?
Oh, we're too sensitive.
They Superman to it. They Superman to it. They turn it on you on the other side of the crystal shield. And they're like, no, you're the fanboy. Look at what you guys. No, buddy. Stop it. You're supposed to report the news.
This isn't the first time or the second or third or fourth time this is happening with IGN or anybody else in the media. I mean, I just go back like maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. The Xbox One X launched. They leaked the price.
Right.
Yeah,
Jeff
the whole
Keighley, thanks, guy.
900p thing with Destiny Gary. I'm like, that shit's been going on for a while now. And you know, and I wrote this on Twitter. It's like at some point in time, Microsoft has to go to these guys, and if it hasn't happened yet, it needs to happen. Like, and say, hey, what the fuck is your problem?
Well, did
Yes.
you see yesterday,
Yep.
Brad?
They
Did you
won't.
see when that happened?
They
I think
will.
Mike
They
Ibarra
won't.
said that. He
No,
said
well,
this
no,
has to
Mikey
be
Barr
fake,
at
right?
first he was like, "This has to be fake." Like,
Right.
Yeah, he knew, but he knew it was real. And then he's like, "This has to be fake." And then he's like, "Watch me stream God of War this weekend."
Yeah.
I got a picture on my PlayStation
Well, you know what?
4 Pro.
Let me do this. And Delilah, I really, really want to hear your take on it. A lot of the people that tune into this channel, they know how we kind of feel. They know the reaction. What was your reaction when this crossed past your feed?
I thought it was unprofessional. That's the biggest thing I can kind of say on it. It reminds me of like Jeff Gertzman with Quantum Break. Like I feel like he single-handedly destroyed that game. Any momentum that game had, he killed it with his lopsided review. And so it just felt, I had that same feeling. I'm like, these guys, they call themselves professionals, and they're gonna put something out like this. And it screamed fanboyism. It screamed like everything that I'm 1000% against when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, I expect media to always be objective, especially for somebody of their stature that has, a huge reach, millions and millions millions of fans. And it's like, they put something out like this. It kind of caught me a little bit off guard being an Xbox person.
I just want to say, Delilah, that what you just said is something that I've actually always thought, and I've never put it into the words that you just did. That was well said. That's exactly the truth. People don't realize what I'm trying to say to you is when you put a media mogul out there, in the case of that with the Giant Bomb, or in the case of this with IGN, forget all the folks that are here on the panel and the chat, and we're the hardcore. Okay, we do the deep reading. We look deeper than most do. But when casuals go to their IGN feed and they see that, you already put a placement of favoritism in first with PlayStation coming from the largest publication out there. And I'm sorry, even this kumbaya nonsense that's coming out of Redmond, you as an executive have to put the kibosh on it.
Yes.
You just do. You can go ahead
Absolutely.
and go back to your kumbaya right afterwards. But you can't let your livelihood be tarnished by the social media group on Facebook for IGN. That doesn't work like that.
I think the worst part about this is that they take that from the media, but then they give IGN the first dibs on State of Play too.
Right.
And then also, like, I didn't recall Stein. Maybe Stein was all hyped up on Sea of Thieves or some of these other, but I don't recall them acting this way. And just the way everybody, it's just odd to see for me, right? Like,
did Yoshida congratulate Rare for putting out Sea of Thieves?
No. Did Yoshida stream Halo 5?
No, nobody from Sony. Rare is a company that's been around for 25 years, right? They are literally one of the most longest running companies in gaming, and them putting out a game that has taken them that long, everyone should have been out there. I don't care if you're from Nintendo, I don't care from your Sony, I don't care from everyone should have been giving them a round of applause, going out on social media and saying, "Way to go, Rare. You did what you wanted. We wish you the best of luck." And no one did that.
But instead they're going to try to pick out flaws. This has been the tone of the generation.
Yes.
I mean, they always look for something wrong with Microsoft. It's like Microsoft is like a juggernaut of a company, and you know that how that saying goes. It's like elephants don't swat at flies. Mm-hmm. Well, them to me, promoting the game, talking about God of War, putting all this, I like to say, effort behind it. It's like swatting at flies. It's like you have a ton of money and a ton of reach of your own. They need to utilize their platform and they can take over if they wanted to. I don't understand why they act, kind of act like their hands are tied, but they make money on every single PlayStation 4 sale, etc. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. So
no, I'm with you. Go, let me just I want to shout out Luca's in the chat. Luca, thank you. That's my New York right there. Female Mooch. She says, fanboys don't have a problem with IGN posting the nonsense, but attack crap and others for basically the same kind of joke. And, Luca, that's a great point. It's like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. These guys are the professionals. Crap has said it multiple times. We say it on MNC. We do it as jokes. It's a joke. Well, we are just entertainers.
First of all, I'm an entertainer. Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm not a person. I admit I'm an Xbox fanboy. I prefer Xbox. So it is kind of what it is. It's like I said, it's a little bit different when you have like the biggest gaming media site out there doing that.
Right.
But I come to expect it or whatever. It's all good, man. It's a
By the way, Crap,
game.
your version is a lot funnier. I just want to put that out.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Shout out to Ray Barada. He said Insomniac stream Sea of Thieves day one. That's fine. And it was funny because somebody else on Twitter was like, oh, guess what? It's nice to see. I think Bethesda said congratulations to Sony Santa Monica. That's fine. I get that. A lot of these people have worked together in that. But the thing is, they are not direct competitors. They're really not direct competitors. So, with Sony and Microsoft, the platform leads, that's what's looked at. You know what I mean? That's what it's truly looked at. So I do want to say shout out to Ray Barada. Thank you for that. And just to take a quick second here is Chris ID 219 IDC. He says, "Hey Mooch," he says, "Chris, have a coffee on me. Also love the intro about Matt. He was a lean, mean Marine. He will be missed. Semper Fi, bro." So Chris, thank you for that. Appreciate it. And good memory of Matthew there. No, but guys, realistically, that's what we're talking about. Is this is a professional level, guys? We do YouTube and we have these chats because everyone on this panel is a friend of mine. We have so much fun. We play games. We have something in common. Okay, we've all come together with one common goal, and that's gaming. Okay. And shout out to Zaire. That was something Zaire said a long time ago. He's like, I just wanted to get a group of people together and talk about gaming and have fun. And that's realistically what it comes down to. These guys are a business.
And
they have the
super lucky still.
Right. Well, that's fine. But I mean, but these guys get backstage passes. They get the before you can see it passes. They go to E3. They're treated well. They have Larry Herb showing up to their studio and doing all these white glove presentations.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. It's me.
Xbox, Larry Herb.
Don't touch me, kids. But
pictures, but you got to stay within 2 feet. You can't actually.
That's so great. You guys will get that as the days go on. But no, I mean that's the one thing that you have to understand. We do this for fun. This is something we enjoy to do. And even if you don't like the point of view that the panel's taking, that's the difference between an IGN, a Giant Bomb, and a Mooch's channel, Crap's channel, etc. Mr. Boomstick's channel. Xbot, that's what the difference is here, folks. So you have to understand that. That's first and foremost. But realistically, getting back to it, what do you guys think about the whole Phil being okay with the congratulating everybody?
Well, let me just say this. Again, we talked about this off the air, and I'll say it on the air. The problem with Microsoft is the perception problem that they currently have. Okay, now here's why we know nothing is going to change. I'm not sure if it's a topic. I didn't see them all, so if I'm not going to go too far into it. But there was a Crap. You did a story on it about the E3 leak, right?
Yeah.
Of what this is what it's going to be, and everyone is freaking out. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, the world is over." If Phil Spencer wanted to show he had a pair of balls, and I like Phil a lot, he should have immediately went to Twitter and put the kibosh on this.
What the problem? I thought about that, and the reason why he probably didn't was because
he's the guy. Why he don't need to?
And not just that, but some of that stuff is coming. So you can't.
No, I understand.
They've never done that in the past. They've never come out
the problem is that is a terrible list of what we're expecting better.
Screenwrite too. Yeah.
So I mean, he could have said that's an inaccurate list. How do you really play that? Because if you go, no, that's a wrong list. But then people start calling him a liar because we get Forza Horizon 4 and some of those other games.
I can guarantee you guys that PR would have advised their whole team not to comment on that list.
Yeah.
That list, though, anybody could have predicted that list. I mean,
that came from the 4chan forums, and they're not reputable.
Well, here's the thing. That's how these things get started. But and what I reminded people of in my video was Microsoft finalized their last E3 a week before E3. Here we are 2 months out.
Right.
And supposedly this whole list of everything they're going to do. I don't think it works that way. And it's all stuff that has already kind of Perfect Dark. We've been hearing about a new Perfect Dark for a year and a half.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the list has taken a collection of rooms
Screenwrite 2
internet and exaggerated them.
Who asked for that game anyway? Screenwrite.
But you know what?
Anybody want a sequel to that?
Yeah, the issue at hand though is that it just if it goes on, it's exactly what you were saying, Mooch. They keep doing these things. These companies keep going out of their way to dump on Xbox, right? No one says anything. There's no line drawn in the sand. You understand? And now this whole thing with the E3 leak, no one responds. I understand it's a PR nightmare, but this is why these things continue to happen, because no one is standing up and saying, okay, that's it. We've had enough.
Hey, listen, here's a question from the chat from Irrelevant Native. He says, to be fair, Major Nelson, Phil Spencer, Mikey Barr are much more accessible than either Sony or Nintendo executives. Is it possible that if they were more engaging, we would see the same? I don't know about that, Native, to be honest with you. I don't. First of all, that's such a hypothetical question, because I don't think they would ever even come on social media, the Nintendo and Sony folks. Well, and to be honest with you, I don't know if they should.
That booty out there.
Here's the thing with that list. This is what that list does. You have the haters, the people that don't like Xbox, going, "Yep, that's 100% accurate because it was nothing special." And then you have the Xbox faithful that are afraid that it might be true, that are now like, "Oh man, Microsoft don't know what they're doing." So people believe anything, right? They'll believe anything either because they want it to be true or because they're afraid it might be true. And those are two different sets of people. Me, I'm like, hey, we're 2 months away. Let's wait and see how it goes. Where everybody else is like, did you see that list? Scream Ride 2, they're so out of touch. Oh my God, they're rebooting Halo. Oh God.
I did a video on this, man. And I got to say, any gamer out there with common sense took it with a huge grain of salt. Because like Crab said, we're 2 months out of it.
If you guys really believe that list, you got to think of it this way. Why would they reboot Halo?
That makes no
sense. They have one more Halo left in that trilogy. They're just going to leave everybody hanging with that.
It's a saga now, man. It's not even a trilogy. They have a whole story like panned out for the next like few Halos. They're not going to throw that away.
Eventually, look, they are going to drop the numbered Halos, right? It's going to be called Halo something or other, but they're not going to reboot it mid this trilogy. Like you got to have that payoff.
Yeah,
like you can't get away with. Like, listen, Halo 4 story was great. The multiplayer wasn't great. Halo 5, the multiplayer was great. The story wasn't great. They're going to get it right with the next one, and they've got to pay off that story. So they're not going to reboot the game. That never made any sense. Now some of the stuff we've heard, Crackdown 3 will get a beta announcement at E3. This is all stuff that we've been saying for a long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why, and then I'll tell you the real reason why I knew that was a fake list, because it had big third-party games going to Game Pass day and date, and that ain't happening.
Right. Yeah, that was something that me and Crab been talking about for a while. Alan, what do you think? You think there's a chance we see a third-party game in their day and date?
The only third-party game on the list that I could see going into
Rise of the Tomb Raider and Borderlands 3.
Borderlands a bit of a push. I think Tomb Raider would be, if we were to see one go to Game Pass, I think it'd be Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
that to me makes sense. Instead of doing the exclusivity deal, do something for Game Pass.
Microsoft might not even have marketing rights on that game, by the way.
To which one?
Tomb Raider. It looks like Sony might have
Are you
marketing
kidding
rights.
me? I thought that was that. Wow.
I thought that was a mega deal they had.
What have you seen to suggest Sony? Because what I've seen kind of
I've just heard some things that possibly Sony has marketing rights with that. I don't know. Like, have you guys? I mean, I guess we'll know here in a week, because they're going to unveil the game. So I'm hoping, but it's like, here's the thing. It would cost Microsoft so much money to do that, and it doesn't really do us any good, honestly.
It doesn't do us any good, but it does promote. We are talking about Game Pass. It does promote Game Pass.
It does, but you'd have to pay so much money. Why not just buy an exclusive at that point?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I gotta laugh at like gamers out there. When it comes down to it, when it comes to marketing rights and stuff like that, I can agree that we need to see more Xbox logos at the end of commercials and stuff. Let the casual gamer out there know that there's more than one platform, and stuff like that. But to see people champion, Sony got Tomb Raider or something like that is absolutely ridiculous.
Hey man, they got Call of Duty, and that thing looks like it's gonna be trash this year, man.
Well, that's what I was just going to bring up. It's Call of Duty.
Good Lord.
And apparently, I'm the only one.
Not my Call of Duty.
I was like, #finally. I'm the only. I know I'm alone. Don't get me wrong. I'm willing to take the L on this one. I don't mind the fact that they're getting rid of the campaign, but I also do respect Crap's point and everyone else's for the most part that are saying, wait, are we getting less of a game?
Here's the thing, right? I'm more of a multiplayer gamer, but I love campaign, like Gears. Right. Halo. When you start messing around with campaigns, you give other people ideas. Right. How would you feel? Maybe you would feel you'd be fine with it. I fucking love Halo, the game, the campaigns, the Gears campaigns, Call of Duty campaigns. I would hate to see cost cutting, corner cutting, say, hey, let's get out the game faster without campaign because only 30% play it.
See, Crap's good at propaganda, and I don't blame you, Crap. That was a great pitch. But Halo Gears campaigns can never, ever be in the same category as a Call of Duty campaign.
I have to tell you what. That's true, but I have to tell you this. When I played even some of the worst Call of Duties online, like Advanced Warfare, that weirdo space scene, that was a fantastic story.
That story was good,
yeah, that was a fantastic. Like these have been amazing, really. Like these but I love that, right? So the fact is, they started like if this was any other game, they'd push the game back, it'd be delayed, right? Because this is the fact. They started making this game 3 years ago. It was going to have a campaign. It starts creeping up on a release date. They go, oh crap, we're never going to get that campaign done. Cut it. Let's focus more on enhancing zombies and this, and then we're gonna have this other studio supposedly make a PUBG mode or whatever. You know, that's lame. And now supposedly there's this mode that these playtesters are playing, and the gameplay is like Cliffy B's old game, Overwatch and Lawbreakers, where you can jump all around and do all this weird crap, and people hate it. Like, like this game had literally. I'm looking over there at Battlefield, man. You guys give me that campaign. It's halfway decent. Man, I'm telling you, this will be the first Call of Duty I don't buy.
This is the thing that's annoying about somewhat the gaming business, right, Crap? Because Crap makes a good point. Crap's saying, okay, so if Battlefield comes out and they do the campaign, the Battle Royale, and their traditional multiplayer, Battlefield's is the superior game this fall. That would hold water in almost any single business except the gaming business. Call of Duty will still beat Battlefield 5 if they remove the campaign. Heck, if they remove the RT buttons function, they would still win.
You know,
what do you think about that? Go ahead.
You know what's funny, Mooch, about this? Out of all Call of Duty titles to do this with, they did it with Black Ops. The name Black Ops in and of
How is it Black Ops without freaking Black Ops characters?
With no ops.
Yeah, there's no campaign. I don't understand. It's a mess. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, they're trying to beat Red Dead 2 out. And
wait, has this been confirmed already? That it's not going to have a.
It's not confirmed, Delilah, but it's almost confirmed. Almost anything.
Multiple sources, but also like play testers who are very unhappy with how the game's playing are apparently reporting this stuff. And also, this is the reason why supposedly, you guys remember that leaked Modern Warfare 2 was going to get a campaign-only remaster because supposedly it's to help make up for this.
I can see them packing in that remaster with Black Ops 4.
They'd have to, like, here, play this game from 2009, the campaign, and then play the multiplayer in this new one where you can run around like you're hyped up on like $1 Million Man or something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
And here's the funny thing is, and that's coming off a fantastic, in my opinion, Call of Duty. Great. World War II had the amazing story. The multiplayer is fun, back to boots on the ground, really good. Right. So now they go from that, and Treyarch, who usually do really good work,
they're supposed to be now the lead. Yeah.
Crumbling.
Yeah.
I gotta say, all the gamers out there that were talking single player experiences and stuff like that, if you open up your wallet and you hand over $60 for this game and it doesn't have that single player campaign in it, I don't know what you are doing, yo.
So Xbot, let me say this to Xbot. If they don't put the Modern Warfare 2 remaster in there, and it's literally so no campaign, you are getting Battle Royale, you're getting this, that, you think this thing has to be $40?
Absolutely.
It should definitely be cheaper than 60.
That's for sure.
And, you know, people talk about
60 plus. You're gonna have to buy the $40 season pass.
50. It's 50 now.
$50 season pass. Sorry, I don't buy those. But
no, me either. I stopped a couple of years ago because I don't play it. I used to buy the big package because the a-hole that I am buys everything. Right. So I stopped doing it because I would barely touch the multiplayer. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it. I buy all Call of Duties to play the single player campaign.
I don't play them.
Predator, what's your take on this? We know you're all about the shooters. Are you a Call of Duty guy, or is this is the last straw for you? You're out.
I'm a Battlefield guy, man. I've been playing Battlefield like the last 3 iterations of it over Call of Duty.
He likes
I
when
get
those
it.
planes crush him.
That's
from
right. I
above
like flying
and
planes.
land on his head.
Yeah, I don't like it when crop dusters land on my head in a video game. Yeah,
I'm just not
I'm
interested in it. Like even this one I got last year, the World War II one. I actually enjoyed that one. That's the first one I bought in a while. I still did not touch the multiplayer. My stepson played on my account. So if you see any achievements on there, that's all him playing the multiplayer. I didn't really play it that much. And that's been like that. I think when I went into Battlefield, I think it was Battlefield 3. I think when I first really got into Battlefield.
Yeah.
And going from that to Call of Duty back and forth for a little while, I realized it's a little bit more realistic on the Battlefield side, and I was just getting these people playing online nowadays are just killing me. I'm hitting a guy with a full clip on Call of Duty and they just get me a headshot and I'm dead, so I just kind of checked out at that point and I just kind of stuck with the story from that point on.
Right. I want to say a shout out to Shogun Blades. He's actually makes a good point, but the problem with that is it sounds good when it's said, but it doesn't hold water. He said, like I heard someone say, if you promote Fortnite, Sea of Thieves, PUBG, then you have no right to be whining of the removal of a campaign in COD. And seriously, like my whole thing about it, and I don't know Shogun's actual stance on it. He's just saying that's what he heard. I don't necessarily
play PUBG is $30.
Well, not just that, but I mean, we've also become accustomed to the campaign.
Yeah, Call of Duty's always had this
compare stuff that never had a campaign to stuff that had it, and they're getting pulled out. You're getting charged the same amount for it, and they're taking away content from you. So I think that's a big difference. This would be the first Call of Duty without a campaign, which
is $60.
Yeah,
it is, clowns.
Yeah, I'll link you guys to it. But it's $60.
Look, they pulled the campaign of the 360 and PS3 versions of Black Ops 3. You guys remember those came out on 360 and PS3?
Yeah.
But there was no campaign, and I think they charged $50 for that. So, and they charged that since there was a campaign in the newer versions, we still got charged the full 60. But I think it's ridiculous. I'm not. But this would be the first one. I bought every one.
I think you guys alluded to it, crap. You guys alluded to it, but the thing is I think here's what happened, okay? Look, at Battle Royale's Battle Royale. Call of Duty could not come out without their Battle Royale, and everybody else has
fine.
it.
And they have, and Raven Software could have done that on there, and they've been doing that. Like Raven Software, completely different developers developing, and apparently it's a standalone thing. It's coming with that, but it's a standalone thing that's going to be doing.
So far, they haven't
gotten
100 players. From what I hear, they haven't gotten it up to 100 players for the Battle Royale for Call of Duty either.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is the thing, right? So I know what you're going to say, but you're like, oh, well, they have to do it's different. It's like, what is my question is this: what the hell is Treyarch doing? Because you've had 3 years, you don't have a campaign, right. So it took you 3 years to get some multiplayer maps and some zombies. Like, because they've always been getting help from multiple other studios too. So to me, it's unacceptable. It's just this generation has been shit after shit after shit. Right. You know what I mean? Not hit after hit after hit. Right. Very rarely has there been hit after hit. It's been shit after shit after shit, right? There's I mean, if you want to think about it, it's not been great. Like, we're getting less and less and less and less and less. And now eventually somebody's going to like this idea, and we might not see like, what was the big bitch about Titanfall 1 and Star Wars Battlefront 1? Right. No campaigns. So they add the campaigns, and they're pretty good, man. Like the Titanfall 2 campaign was fun as hell, really good. I loved it. The Battlefront campaign, I liked it. I thought it had some really good epic moments to it. It wasn't perfect, but it was still fun, and it really helped you prepare you for the multiplayer aspects of the game. That's what I like about it. I don't particularly like just jumping into stuff, and man, skipping a Call of Duty just sucks. But I mean, it is. You got to vote with your wallet.
I think they're going to get burned here. Go ahead. What do you say? Alan or Boom? One of you guys was about to say something.
Oh yeah. No, get it, Alan. Get it. I'll go after you, brother.
All right, thanks, Boom. Now, I was just gonna say, I feel the same way as crap. I'm thinking about skipping this year's Call of Duty game as well, because I usually play the single player more than the other modes. I don't spend a huge amount of time playing Call of Duty, so it's like spend $60 on a game I might only put a couple hours into. It just doesn't seem worth it. You know what I mean? And it's like the other issue is if they're making it feel like Overwatch. Like, I wasn't hugely into Overwatch. I wasn't a massive Overwatch guy, so it just doesn't sound great to me.
One of the main reasons I didn't buy Overwatch was there was no campaign. And I was like, who the hell are these characters? Like I played it when it was free for a weekend or something, but overall, man, I couldn't care less about Overwatch, and I didn't care less about Lawbreakers.
I think each one has to kind of be looked at in its own world. And I know that there's different variables here. There's cost, there's what you've become accustomed to, and then there's new games. I mean, the reason Call of Duty had to do this, if anyone's asking, why do they need to have a battle royale? Here's why. There's a chunk of money out there that people are just spending on battle royale games. Radical Heights looks terrible, and it's actually doing okay just because it's a battle royale mode.
It's not gonna do okay.
It's not doing it. Well, they're saying it's actually getting decent player base. And
what's that? I mean, somebody check into that? I don't believe it.
We got one more player than Lawbreaker.
Yeah, right. I heard it was doing awful, and then someone was like, "No, Mooch, it's actually doing respectable." And I'm like, "Really?" So I'm like, is that the kind of clout that this battle royale carries with it?
IGN already put out a review score for it. They gave it a 5 out of 10.
Right. How do you do that with a game that's not out yet?
I don't know.
I know. Cliffy B was not happy about it. He was complaining earlier on Twitter.
Yeah, like, to be honest with you, and I agree, and I don't usually agree with Cliffy, but the game has assets hold in place of other things because they're not in yet. So how can you?
That's so IGN.
It's just because it's the battle royale trend. IGN were like, have to jump on. I have to get a review out quick.
Everybody's gonna get sick of this battle royale stuff the way they got sick of Guitar Hero.
Crap, I said that last year.
And people are already starting to get sick of like the different developers announcing battle royale this, battle royale that.
Games trailer says he checked and he said there's 4,000 people playing it. I don't know if that's
there's
true
more
or not,
people in Gears 3 right now playing it than that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Wait, what game are you guys talking about? Radical Heights?
Radical Heights.
God.
What's your take on that, Delilah? Are you done with Battle Royale already?
Yes, I've been done with Battle Royale. I'll probably play PUBG every now and again, but Battle Royale, it's a glorified game mode. I think every game is going to eventually have it.
Yes.
And it is what it is.
I said it's the new team deathmatch, Delilah.
This looks like, I don't know.
I think bad. I like it better than Fortnite. I will.
You know what Battle Royale would like, and this was kind of rumored, is maybe we'll see, since there's not going to be a Halo game, that maybe they're going to add a Halo Battle Royale type thing this year. So
right.
I thought that might be cool, but overall, man, like, this is why Call of Duty has to do that, because Fortnite's bigger than Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have to try to do something. It's Fortnite. And Fortnite's not good. Like, you know what I mean? It's so bad.
Well,
I can't stand that damn game. So it's like, I don't want my games turning into.
I'll say one thing. The only thing I like about Radical Heights is the music. Being an 80s baby, like, I love.
Amen. Thank you.
Music. That's about it.
Crap hates that. I love the 80s. You put 80s, like, that's actually got me thinking when and if it ever comes to a console, I would try it out because I do love the 80s. Let's bring this up, guys. I'm interested to hear. This has been an opinion piece that's been circulating throughout the internet recently, and that is that Twitch and Mixer, mainly Twitch, are kind of exploiting single player games. I was wondering what your guys' take was on that. I saw a couple people say, "Oh, I wasn't into this game. I ended up watching the entire playthrough on Twitch." And
I did that with Resident Evil, man.
I did that with The Last of Us because I couldn't stand it anymore. Right? It's just like, I have helped this little kid through this onto this fucking raft 4 times already. I'm not doing it again. And I was like, I can't take it. I was like, I'm almost at the end. I've had 0 trophies up to that point.
Yeah, they didn't give a lot of trophies. Trophies were
hours
tough.
into this game, and I was like, I'm done with it. So I watched the ending on YouTube.
Is it killing single player games, crap?
Is it killing? No. I mean, look, if you want to...
Is it affecting, killing strong? Is it affecting the purchase?
No. In fact, it's getting people see this stuff and they want to buy it more.
Yeah. I'd say if it's affecting single player games, it's improving their sale.
Yeah.
I agree.
This is what Nintendo's missing out on by not allowing people to show their games.
Yeah.
Like, people see that stuff and they're like, holy
crap. I'm glad you bring that up. And next time I'm going to come to you in a second. I just like the way because a lot of people are probably thinking Nintendo doesn't need the help. Crap, they're doing fine. Yeah, Mario, Zelda don't need it. But like, there's other games like ARMS or these other things that if you could watch people playing it, maybe you like it, maybe you'd buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
No,
ahead, Xbox, you were gonna say
I gotta
something.
say, Mooch, when it comes to single player games with Twitch and Mixer, I think it could have an effect on single player games, but not in the way we're talking. With games like Fortnite and PUBG being so popular and their multiplayer games, that's what a lot of people are watching on there. I think those streams are building the hype up for those types of games, which
Right.
get put higher on that gamer's list. Like, oh man, I got to get PUBG. As soon as I get $30, it's PUBG. And it's not, as soon as I get $30, I'm halfway to God of War. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I think that's where you see the impact is the fact that they're really streaming these multiplayer experiences. As far as them streaming single player, I'm a big fan of Rad Brad. You're the one who introduced me to him.
do this.
That's cool.
Yeah. You're the one who introduced me to him. He's the one I watched his Resident Evil walkthrough. And granted, I watched it on his channel. I was like, man, I really don't need to play this game. That was my personal opinion. I feel like it wasn't.
See, that's where I'm coming from. I do understand. I kind of agree with Crap in the fact that I think in Alan that said the sales are doing better. That I think is a proven thing.
Well,
But I
you know
do
what I used to
think
do, Mooch?
It does affect my opinion sometimes, though, Crap.
It can, like back in the day when you guys know what LimeWire is, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I
back in
remember
the day,
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so back in the day, I had a rule like before I buy a CD because they were like $15 or whatever, right? I'd have to like at least 3 songs on there, so I would LimeWire like an album, and if it had at least 3 songs, I would buy it. So it actually helped me to create a purchase, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes you look at that, like when you see that God of War trailers and stuff, it looks really good, so it makes you want to buy it.
Right.
You know, and I think that's what it comes down to. Like, I was careful not to watch because I didn't want spoilers and all that. Game of the generation, I want to experience for myself, folks. Come on. You know, it's
Well, I want to give an example. Rad Brad, right, who I do check out more often than not when he does his Let's Plays.
and go-to guys. Is there anybody else that does walkthroughs as good as that
there's
guy?
a
Come
lot,
on.
but well, he's just so goddamn friendly. He says
No,
he
that's what
loves
I'm
you
saying,
like
dude. That's
8,000 times during the
you don't need to
stream.
punch him in the face, and so
Yeah,
he
he's
already has that going for him.
Right,
so.
right, exactly. But he, Boom, me and Boom are big fans of The Evil Within too.
Oh yeah.
And I got to be honest, I watched his Let's Play. When I watched him play the first day before I got it, I wasn't necessarily ready to go purchase it. It almost talked me out of it. He didn't talk me out of it. The game, I just didn't like the way that it was coming through. So there are times, and I'm going to give the mic to Delilah. What do you think about this? Do you watch any of these Let's Plays? It doesn't have to be Rad Brad. Anybody's.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it
Do they
depends on the
affect you?
game. Yeah. I mean, I looked at Radical Heights and I'm like, no. So I mean,
Right.
that was a direct effect on me. But yeah, sometimes it helps. I mean, gives you a good idea of what the game's gonna be like, and so you go pick it up.
I think it does help more than hurt.
I was gonna say, I think that the streaming though, I think reason why people stream the multiplayer games is because the experience is different every time. Whereas with a single player campaign, like it doesn't change, and so you're effectively like spoiling the game for somebody. But if you're playing like I don't know, PUBG, it you don't know what's gonna happen. It's like waiting for something new every time. So
Well, let me ask you this, Delilah. When you see a lot of your friends, okay, on Xbox Live, it'll pop up and it'll say so and so is streaming. Now, this is not one of the people that has 8 million followers. This is someone that has maybe 100. Do you tune into all the streaming that's going on through Mixer, etc.?
sometimes, if I have an affinity with somebody, like if I'm pretty close or whatever, then definitely I'll check out the stream. Or if they're on Mixer, I host them, just to kind of give some,
Gives a little TLC, a little love out there. That's right. No, and I think that's the way. That's the same camp that I'm in. And Xbot, you stream you guys stream. Every morning I wake up and it's like Mel and Xbox stream 4 hours. I'm like, holy crap, how did you do that?
Right.
Dude, it's to the point where like people will go into the party with us. They'll be like, "So are we streaming?" And I'm like, "Yo, guys, we gotta play just play games sometimes without."
Yeah, can we
without
just
an
play?
audience, yeah,
Yeah, me and Crap say that a lot of times because a lot of people always say, hey, and don't get me wrong, we actually have fun. If anyone, I don't know how many people in the chat right now tune in, we do get some good numbers. It's almost like we do a mini M&C when we're doing Mooch and Crap streams. And we get a good crowd in there, but sometimes I go to Crap, I say, hey, Crap, you want to play whatever, Thieves, Gears, Halo? And he'll go, yeah. And I go, let's not stream tonight. Can we just be? Can we
Yeah.
just be? You
And
know
it's
what I
not
mean?
that you put on a show. It's just that when we're doing it's different for us than I think streamers that stream, right? They're just like, you know, they're like, when people expect us to be like, so what do you think about Sony?
Yeah,
Well,
what
I
do you
tell
say
what,
there,
man,
crap?
that you have a steak in one hand and then you got like a brisket in the other. You know what I mean? Like they expect you to do, and it's like hard to concentrate.
Mooch, where's the
game.
food reference? I've been here a half hour.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, crap, can you? If you're like, when I'm really concentrating at a multiplayer game, I'm quiet as can be.
Yes.
Right? And people are like, crap, give us a rack 'em up. And I'm like, what?
We were
gaming
playing.
here,
We were
you know?
when
Come on.
Friday the 13th first came
That
out,
was fun, though.
which is a great game to stream,
Streaming
by the way,
game,
because
yeah.
when you're watching it, it is like watching a movie, and you're watching it. It's great. And I remember, shout out to She Wolf. She goes to me in the chat. She says, "Mooch, you got to talk more. You're streaming," and I'm like, "I'm trying not to die." You know, it's like sometimes the streaming, there's a disconnect between the audience and the gamer. And I always wonder, Xbot, I go back to you. Like, I just see you do it more often than not. I know you do it. I know Noof will just be playing Resident Evil 7. Boom, 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 boom. I couldn't even say it with so many booms. But yeah, I mean, Xbot, do you ever like just say what you said and you're like, you know, my God, I feel like because you got to be on because people are watching.
Well, I feel like when I stream, I have an obligation. There's a comment section, and I feel like, you know, I have to see what people are saying, if there's any questions, stuff like that. So there are points in time where I like to put that away, and I like to just go in. Like Sea of Thieves is a good thing. That's my multiplayer right now. I love playing that game. And there are times where I want to really kind of concentrate with the crew, get as much treasure as possible. I'm trying to hit level 50 on all three fronts on that game.
You want to be a legendary pirate.
I want to be legendary, man.
We played with you, man. We have a good time, man. Just what we were singing. I'm on a boat, and it was like 3 hours of snake.
on a
I
boat?
don't want no snake.
Dude, that was the
no
quickest
snake.
3 hours, I swear.
I
Like,
tell you, it's
It
a
was.
time sucker. You just like play that game with your friends. Everybody's drinking and having a good time. Next thing you know, it's 3 hours later, and you're like, "Damn, I got to work tomorrow." So
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? Speaking of Brad, though, it's funny because like I forgot he has Crackdown 3 footage. Remember they sent him
Yes.
some crack, and I'm looking at this game, and it looks so good. And this was like from July of last year, and it's like, I hope that this game actually releases because I'm telling you what, like
It looks like fun.
it does. And he's even having a good time. I'm just looking at it right now. And yeah, it's like it looks really good. Like it looks so much better than Crackdown 1 or 2.
Well,
Honestly,
yeah,
I've
that's what I was saying, man. Yo, in terms
I don't
of
get the hate, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't
like,
get it.
I was gonna say real quick, like if you guys like that B-roll footage, you should have seen the 30-minute BCD demo I saw at E3 last year. It was
Alan, you
great.
gotta send us
Loved
some
it.
raw
Better than Radical Heights, I tell you.
Shout out
no, I
to
mean,
Sir
like,
X-Man in the chat. Thank you.
it does. It looks
Like
so
that.
good. And that's after. I'm talking about. I played Crackdown 1 again in 4K, and that
Looks
looks
fantastic.
Yeah, but this looks like so much better. And people are just upset because it looks like crap. I still don't get the hate for it, man. I hope
Crap,
this game
that's a
comes
great
out and does
segue.
well.
Let's talk about this. We're talking about Crackdown 3. We're talking about Microsoft Studios. So Matt Booty introduced via Twitter the gentleman who's right, the Booty man. He introduced his right. He introduced this gentleman, and pardon me for not having his name, but he's the ex-head of Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix. Say it again, Alan.
Daryl Gallagher, I believe.
Thank you.
Gallagher.
And he also, so he went from Square Enix to Activision, and now he's going to be in a leadership role with Microsoft Studios. And shout out to Y9 Power. Thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate that.
Damn, you get all that money, man. Damn.
The Mooch Maniacs come out in droves, crap. You know this, right?
They do. I
Yes.
think Sir X-Man's donated again, man. That might be the second.
It's not Sir X-Man again. It's really great. Shout out to Flip Money, too. But yeah, no, I mean, what do you guys think? Is this the right? Here's the thing. I want to get excited when I see things like this. I really, really do.
Get excited, Mooch.
Well, I'm trying, Delilah. Help me. This is why I need you with me. I need you. Okay.
Help
Because
you.
like, help me, right? Help me, help all of us. I want to get pumped. I want to get excited, and then I'm kind of like, you know, is Microsoft going in the direction that are they going to have another first party studio? Are they opening up a new branch? Are we going to get new IP?
To
Go
me,
ahead.
the biggest indicator was E3 2018. We'll have more at E3 2018. Like they didn't have to say that at the end. They could say we just hired this guy and then left it at that. But the fact that they said E3 2018 should let you know this guy is gonna head up a studio or something. Has to. What else could he be doing?
Yeah.
Like making bonbons in the back?
Hey,
Uh,
Delilah, I like the way you think because I said the same thing on Wednesday. I said, look, they already introduced him on Twitter. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
what does E3 have to do with this? Like, this guy has something to do with something. You know, maybe he had up a new studio, but this guy does like those single
Story-based.
player. Yeah, he's the one
Yeah.
that rebooted Tomb Raider.
Tomb
I gotta
Raider.
tell you this. I hated the older Tomb Raiders. It wasn't until the reboot
Yep.
where I was like, holy crap.
Completely agree. I completely agree. The reboot was amazing.
Exactly. And the main thing that I liked about it, and maybe not everybody's agree, was that they made the tombs for the most part optional. They weren't difficult. Like people are like, oh, it's because you're shit at games or whatever. At my age right now, I don't got time to sit there and do looking puzzles and all this kind of crap for 2 hours, right?
Crap.
Sorry, I gotta play. I gotta play through the games, man. I want to play. I do, man. It's like I want to play through the story. Like I get bored of story-driven games, and I know people are like, "But you like Sea of Thieves crap," and that's. But again, when I'm playing with my friends and we're drinking or partying or like
own
steaks,
story.
like that's you're invested in that. It's like because you're with your friends. When I'm playing a single-player game, and it's like now you got to find this tree that looks like an H and stare. Like that's not fun to me. Like I don't. I can't help it.
No, right.
So I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm weird like that. So
Crap. Game trailers in the chat. He says Mooch. He's the director of Fable 4. So do you think he'll be taking over that run?
Fable is being made by
who?
Playground Games.
Right. He said he is. Playground hired him to be the director of Fable 4. I mean, he's just kind of putting it out there. I don't know if he knows this for a fact or not, but does it hold water?
I don't think so.
I think it's
Playground
going to be a new IP.
Playground Playground can
Playground
handle
already
that
had their
themselves.
yeah.
They have.
Yeah,
I
Guys,
think
Which,
I'm gonna
by
say-
the way, Playground hired some people that worked on Metal Gear 5 and Horizon Zero Dawn and Witcher 3,
and GTA 5.
GTA 5. Yeah, so they've got some experienced dudes doing Fable. And I think we'll see some kind of trailer. Like, can you imagine like almost everything, all the haters, all the people that are like, I don't care about the haters because they're going to hate on whatever Microsoft does this year. But imagine the people that maybe had lost a little bit of faith and they see Fable come back in that trailer or something. I think all is going to be forgiven. Everybody's going to be like, wow, there it is. We get our moment. It's going to take time. Look, God of War comes out right now. It took 5 years to make. We probably won't have Fable for a few years, but it could be worth the wait. And that could be our God of War. And when I say that, I don't mean that ripoff. I mean, it could be that amazing, epic thing that we want. Right. So that's absolutely amazing. And the critics love. And I think that's what Microsoft is working on. And they have to be, and
Right.
so but it takes a little bit of time, but show the fans that it's coming. And I know that games get canceled. That happens. You got to take a risk and show people what's coming, or otherwise they're going to, they're not going to stick around.
I think they're doing that. I think when it comes to gamers out there that play on Xbox, you can. I just want, this is like a public service announcement. You can get excited for E3 when you see announcements like this Gallagher guy. When you see Mikey Barra posting pictures of the main character in Rise, saying, I remember him. And you think about what Phil Spencer talked about. He did two of the three things.
Right.
Yeah, well, people are like, people are thinking maybe a sequel to Rise or whatever. I really feel like Phil Spencer, he turned the corner. He did what he had to do with Power. He did what he had to do with Xbox Live in terms of multiple, on multiple devices and stuff like that. And he said that the next thing on the list was the games. And I feel like we're going to see it this year at E3. We're going to see beyond a year.
Xbox. The only problem I had with Phil's answer and what you're talking about is that sounds like the dog ate my homework. Here's the problem I got with that. I understand that he had to go in there and revamp Xbox Live, and they did have but the hardware department has nothing to do with the software department. So when they were creating the Scorpio, there was nobody at the table that was like, hey, boss, we need some games for this shit. Like nobody, right? And like, no. You put those games on hold, okay? I gotta get this power brick inside. No, that wasn't what happened.
I gotta go back again and state the fact that these companies do have what they call sparse years. Now, you might not like the lineup this year. I think this lineup is awesome. I'm having fun with Sea of Thieves.
If Crackdown 3 releases, it's a good year. If we get Forza Horizon 4
now,
as well, I think it's a good year.
Me and Crab said that they needed like Halo 6 to really kind of like fucking put the nail.
Would have been
went
from a good year to a great year.
Exactly. And unfortunately, like we haven't heard anything about that, and all that good stuff. But in terms of games, we are getting games this year. 2017, was that sparse year for Xbox, and people talking all that doom and gloom. We went through 1 year. You know, other companies, other platforms have gone through more
to be
time.
clear,
than
though,
that,
Xbox, they really, the second part of the year wasn't bad. It was like,
No.
I don't get jokes, but Super Lucky's Tale, Cuphead, Forza Motorsport 7 was
Cuphead,
really good.
Forza Motorsport 7,
PUBG,
PUBG, they took up my gaming.
and then we get Sea of
actually,
Thieves early this year.
I was just gonna say real quick, like I know a lot of people bash on it, but actually Lucky's Tale was actually good for what it is. And I think
It's a good platformer.
in my opinion, I think it's a better exclusive to have than NEC 2.
No, for sure, without a doubt.
I'll definitely say that.
100%, man.
No, I agree with you, and I think Xbox. You make a great point with the sparse years. I totally understand that. I really do, but we do have to keep in mind. And crap, to his credit, he says this is a good year. He's right; it is a good year. But these games, and I'm actually quoting crap here from multiple shows ago. These games that we're saying are a good year were all supposed to come out last year.
Yep.
So
or a year before that.
Or a year before that. So that's what I'm saying. So
when how far behind we actually are in the games that are having development.
Right. And when now when you see this guy coming in, Gallagher, he's coming in now. This should have happened a year ago.
It should have happened years ago. Well, look, if you really think that they had the intention to release the Xbox One X with Super Lucky's Tale and nothing else.
They clearly plan to launch the X with Crackdown 3 and Scalebound.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But for anybody before they jump in, Scalebound was years away from what the scuttlebutt is from being complete. And it was in worse shape the last time they saw it than the previous time. Yeah. So I mean, you can. Yeah. So it's
that's why I think
stop using the Scalebound crutch out there. There are fanboys that when they talk to Xbox gamers, all of a sudden it's Scalebound.
Hey, it was so funny though because everybody was like, "Man, that game looks trash."
Yeah.
And then when it got canceled, the one game that I possibly considered thinking about buying an Xbox for, now it's canceled. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like that was
that's over the top drama. But the thing about it is, though, I will say Phil made a huge change in his leadership because of that game, though.
Why is this leadership just now, though? It's so weird to me.
But he's only focusing now on building his own first party. He doesn't want to do those deal with platinum games anymore. He doesn't want to do those anymore because he got burned.
He has to. Like, this is the thing, right? Because if they say they get something, like say Capcom Vancouver decides to go back and Microsoft wants Dead Rising 5 to be exclusive, like Dead Rising 3 was, right? People are going to hound them about it and they'll just assume that it's going to be the PlayStation eventually, right? You still have people that thought that Part 3 would come to PlayStation or Rise, right? So you need your own studios to do things. You need that big hit, up until I think, what was it? Even after the Xbox One was coming out, people thought that Gears would come to PlayStation. They did.
Yeah, no, I know.
No, I agree with you.
There was leaked screenshots, Gears Collection, PS3 or whatever. I remember that stuff. Right?
Well, what do you think? Crap. Let's get back to E3 for a second. Though. What else are we going to see? I mean, are they going to bring Gallagher on stage and say what he's going to lead?
I would assume that he is doing something.
Because you said that. You were like, the first thing you said to me in a DM was, you're like, they're going to bring him out there, and he's got 2 months to put something together for a quick 30-second slideshow.
I think everybody got on Phil via Twitter or other means to let him know that we need some kind of thing. He's got 2 months to slap stuff together if they didn't already have a lot of stuff planned. Like,
Delilah, what do you think about that? I really want to hear what you. What do you think about something like this from the outside looking in? What is your take when you've seen what's transpired over the past 12 to 24 months? What do you need to see at E3 to be convinced?
Everything. I mean,
that's a good answer.
To be real with you, because I was at E3 last year, and I had the opportunity to go to the press conference, and it was amazing. I mean, they kept throwing game after game after game, but towards the end, you start to realize that this is all a bunch of indies and some third party stuff. Like,
right, you felt similar to how I did.
Right, you're like, okay, if you're an Xbox person, And it's kind of like rooting for your favorite team. Like I'm a Falcons fan, so this is like PlayStation
28-3, right?
Whatever.
I
Salt
cheered
the
on the
wound.
Falcons so much
Still
that
salty.
game.
Come on, I'm still
I
salty.
hate the Patriots, man. I wanted you guys to beat
on.
them
You have
so
to-
bad.
Whatever.
She's like, I'm moving on from that.
Yes, I'm trying to. He already think he got me a little.
See, you got her all.
But yeah, they have to come with it. This to me, I feel like, go big or go home. Like, stop playing around. You got the money. Making studios is nothing. Split your teams if you have to. You got a war chest of IPs. Like, start making sequels to these games. Start pushing out with what needs to be do what needs to be done. Like, that's what I don't get. Like, do everything you need to do to win. And that's the kind of company I want to see. That's the kind of company I want to be behind. So
Right.
Yeah.
hey, people in the chat talking about 28-3. Stop it.
Well, you know what? Like you make a really good point. Like last year, I think their E3 looked better as well because Sony did a real rush job and showed only 14 games, 9 of which they had already shown the previous year, and 4 were VR. And 1 was the only thing new. What basically that wasn't VR was the Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Now, I do want them to do something with VR because I love VR.
I love VR too.
Man,
But
have you
Delilah,
tried?
let me tell you this though, right? Like as a VR fan, because probably you see me hyping up PlayStation VR. I love
You
it.
thought about it. It's not even the
yeah.
best one.
I know it's not, but I'm a console guy. I don't mess with
It
PCs.
is. It's all right.
I know. So like I really want VR to come to Xbox, right? But I think that maybe E3 wouldn't be a good place for that. Like the
It's more like a
stage.
I think
CES
it's
kind of a
great
thing.
place for it personally.
Well, I mean, like here's the thing though. Like it's hard to really.
Like, we bring our because they already got a lot of these Microsoft head devices that's already
Yeah.
out. They can say, in the fall, our console will fully support the Microsoft head displays, and then that'd be innovative. Move on to a game. They can just
Yeah, I mean, you could do it like that, right? But I'm just saying, like, it's hard to really show off games in VR that people can like,
But
really.
I'm just afraid that if they don't do anything with VR, they're gonna miss another trend. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
because the Microsoft is known for almost being there, they always missing the curve. Oh, we had
too far ahead of it.
wireless charging before
Right.
everybody else, and they missed
You-
that too.
You know what,
And-
Delilah, you're 100% right. They either missed the trend or they're too early in the trend.
Right.
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 So
Because everything that's cool right now was not cool in 2013, crap.
Right. just like,
Oh.
remember Alexa? That was Cortana, right? Cortana
Yeah.
was doing that way before
Cortana.
Alexa.
Hey, Cortana was just trying to spy on us all, though.
She was
So-
spying on us. She was going to call the
Exactly.
police as soon as you put a game in.
And I remember bringing up, I said Facebook the one that's spying on you. Now we know. I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. I mean, that's a great point. They are either behind or they're so far ahead, they're called out for something that doesn't make, like, honest to God, come on. Digital content. Do you remember the conversations we were all having in 2013, 2014?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has amnesia. Like, digital. Did you just say digital?
You're
Taking my rights.
I need to take my physical disc that comes in this holder and put it with my other green physical disc that are next to my 360. Like, people were like blowing their minds.
I'll never
And
own
then-
anything ever again.
Right. I'll never own anything again. Right. It's so
Meanwhile,
true.
let me boot up Netflix and and Spotify. And, you know what I mean? Like,
It's so
It's
ridiculous.
trips me out as
Always
people. That's
online
been
only.
years now, years, and people still hold a grudge against them for that.
Again,
It's
I'll
like
give
you
credit
got-
where you got to give
Yeah.
credit where credit's due. Sony did something
2013.
great. Sony did something great with VR crap. They literally supported their VR unit. With
Yeah.
Microsoft at Kinect, can somebody tell me a Kinect game?
Hey, you know what? Not only
Xbox
did
Rivals.
Sony support their
Yes,
VR,
that's all.
but they retrofitted that shit with old Move controllers. They're like, how can we use these millions of Move controllers? I got an idea. Let's incorporate it into VR. You know,
Right.
and they were very ingenuitive and did that. So, and you know me, man, I love VR. So
I
what
wish
can
I wish I could get into it. I really do. I have
Kinect
it.
adapter. I will stream Kinect Sports Rivals, man. I love that game.
I wish they, you know what? I wish they would. I'm probably gonna get hate for. I wish they would make Kinect Sports Rivals, make it where you don't need Kinect for that.
That'd
Dude,
be
that
great.
was great. I'm right there with you. That was
Like
great.
I really like the wave race and all that stuff.
It was beautiful too.
It,
so.
it was. It's so gorgeous, man. But nobody really gave it a chance
My
because
kids love dancing.
You know, I actually really enjoy Kinect Sports
I
Rivals.
like
as well.
bowling so much. Hey, the first Kinect Sports on 360, I put so much time into that game. Like I know, right?
Yeah,
Like
but crap. Explain this. If you want that to come back without the Kinect, I mean, like bowling is the big thing. Like people like Wii U bowling too, right? So my whole thing, or Wii bowling. my point being is like, if there's no Kinect, is the bowling aspect still fun with the controller?
It's still,
Probably
I mean,
not.
as fun as a bowling game, but I mean, I would think that wave race would be the big
The
thing.
wave race, yes.
That was a lot of fun. There was other things too, but they did it with Disneyland Adventures and stuff like that. I actually really liked. Again, this was something I got a couple of Kinect games on the 360 that I thought were really good games that got hate that didn't deserve. One was Fable the Journey, which I really liked that game. I liked the story.
I enjoyed Fable the Journey a lot as well. And
Yeah,
you know what? The thing I liked about it as well is that you didn't need a whole amount of room space to play that.
Yeah,
one
I
either.
sat there and played it, and I played that game all the way through in like basically one sitting.
Yeah.
Same thing with the
here.
gun. The Gunstringer was this awesome.
Yeah, Gunstringer was fantastic.
It was really good. Like, but those games never stood a chance because people hated the gimmick, quote unquote, of Kinect. Or whenever you'd see people go, Kinect doesn't work, and they're trying to review it, they're flailing their arms around like they've got some kind of problem.
Yeah.
Right. Like they didn't understand. It's like concise movements is how you use Kinect, and it sucks because it's an alternative. Like,
Well,
did I use it all the time? Hell no. Did I almost fall out of the window one time? But I mean, it's one of those things where when you want to play with your friends or whatever, and I think that like sometimes, and I thought that was really cool.
You know, as well, I still find it really cool when I just go into the room, say Xbox on, my One X turns on, my TV turns on, everything just comes on. I love it.
I made a promise to myself, Alan. I made a promise to myself. I said, Mooch, once that X comes out, we're done with Kinect. And I did. Once the X came out, I put the Kinect away. I did, because realistically, all I was doing was what Alan said. I was saying Xbox on, and then I was standing in front of it and waiting about a half an hour for it to recognize my face. And so I was like, all right, I can't take this anymore. I just can't. Shout out to Michael Cicello. Thank you very much for that. But, I mean, what do you...
Well, I was going to put this out real quick.
No, go ahead.
It'd be cool if Microsoft right now, with the X, they support the, hey, Cortana, do such and such. I think it'd be awesome if they could just drop that as a keyword and use Xbox as the keyword, and then let you still do the voice commands without Kinect.
They have that right through the headset. Don't they still have the commands?
You can't, when you have the X and you turn off Cortana, you can't just say Xbox do so and so without Kinect.
If you want to use Xbox commands, you still need to have Kinect.
That's right. And so I wish they would just go ahead and just allow us to use Xbox command with.
I can understand.
You guys know how much hate they're gonna get if they come out with a Kinect too.
They're never gonna come out with a
Kinect. They'll rebrand it and rename it before they call it Kinect anything. So
here, get I knew it was dead once they started saying, hey, you're gonna be able to play it, use any webcam you want. Right. Thing, like you're like, oh, there goes Kinect.
There goes Kinect.
To be honest, I knew it was dead when Phil Spencer took it out of the bundle. Like,
but you need it, Alan. You need to use it. It's part of the system.
Right.
It wouldn't turn on if it wasn't plugged in.
Exactly.
2013, folks. That's all it is. 2013.
There's people getting 2013 erased from their memory banks. Realistically,
I try to get rid of it, but you guys always bringing it back up.
I know. We try not to, Delilah. I swear, I really do.
There were some interesting Kinect games. Even you know what? I like the integration that Kinect had in some of the launch titles. I remember Rise. You could get people to shoot arrows by shouting.
Yeah.
Forza 5, you could move your head around the cockpit of the car.
Yep. And also Dead Rising 3, if you were loud and the Kinect picked up the noise, the zombies would be attracted, and you have to shake your controller to get them off you or whatever.
Yeah. I love that feature.
Yeah, like I liked it. They were very innovative.
That's the thing. That's where Kinect shined the most, when it added to your hardcore games rather than trying to replace them.
Do you guys remember how Kinect was integrated with what the hell was that damn game before it went to crap? Mass Effect 3, right?
Yeah.
It was almost like having hotkeys, or in Skyrim, right? You could use the shot, like that was so much easier. Yep. And that was when PlayStation fans were really jealous of that at that time, even though they were like, Kinect sucks, and then they were like, can we please get some kind of voice commands? It's like that. I use the voice commands all the time in that shit.
I think Microsoft's trying to get back to its roots with the whole Avatars 2.0 that are supposed to be coming out, because there's people in the chat saying 1 versus 100.
Awesome, man.
They look great, and I think they're much needed. To be honest with you, it was one of the things that I truly loved about the 360. And the fact that they're going to bring them back and they look this good, they're using one of these in the Unreal 4 engine or something like that.
Can we agree that that's rare again when it comes to the...
Rare created the Avatar system.
They created the first set, right?
Yeah. And just from that kind of like leaked kind of like footage or whatever, you looked at the hair and everything like that. And
when are we supposed to get these?
Rare.
I mean,
we were supposed to get them last year, and now I got a feeling they're gonna announce them this E3 when we're gonna get them.
That means we'll get them in the fall then.
Yeah, because I think they're gonna also announce stuff like Scream Ride 2, where you play as your avatar. No, I don't know. I don't know about Scream Ride 2, but like, rumor has it they do have some avatar games that they're gonna incorporate.
Yeah, 1 versus 100. I hope they bring Full House Poker back.
How about Kinect Joyride 3?
Yes, I love Kinect.
God.
They made Kinect Joyride with that was hard to control. And then they made the second one where you could just use a controller. You know what game I really like? Speaking of man, I have these games and they're so fun. There was a Sega made horror game.
Rise of Nightmares.
Yes, Rise of Nightmares was really good. I liked that game a lot. It got shit on, of course, but even Kinect Star Wars, I know that game gets hated on, and the reason it gets hated on is because that damn dance mode. But I'm telling you right now, there's a story mode you can play as a Rancor, and there's pod racing, and that shit is fun.
Wasn't that game like one of the coolest showcases for Kinect?
It
like,
was.
It was a proper
it.
game for. Yeah, I don't get it. You know, it's just. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, again, I know like Crap's a Kinect fan. Like, I liked it. I didn't play it all the time, but it was cool change of pace.
I just want to let you know that Guinness just called. We have now talked about Kinect longer than any other podcast ever.
Check this out, Mooch. Crap actually he touched on the kind of like my biggest problem with Xbox, man. And when it comes to the updates and everything like that, have you ever noticed that none of them have come out on time? And when they do, man, they still need like updates throughout like the months afterwards for it to work properly.
Yeah, I mean, update for your update.
That's one of my biggest things with them. Like, I love the innovation that, you know, Microsoft as a whole, you know, when you're talking mixed reality, even like with my Windows Phone, I know I can't say that live, but I just did. But like their innovation and what they do is awesome, but they always seem to back themselves in the corner. Like, this update will be out now, and then they always have to push it back, and then they have to try to catch up with updates. Man, I'm tired of that cycle.
It's a bit weird. I think I remember on the 360 when they did the yearly big updates, and that was when Mark Whitten was leading all of that stuff. Like, those updates, I looked forward to those updates so much, almost as if they were a game release. Like, I used to be really excited for them. But now on the Xbox One, I'm like, oh, it's another update.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they're update. What if they moved now?
Well, there goes my upload studio for a while.
Yeah. You guys are talking about like technology that came out, like Kinect, and we're talking about this and that. What do you guys think about? What's your general feeling on the Nintendo Labo, the cardboard that's coming out very soon, right? I know. Now, Xbot, I know you're anti-Switch, but hear me out for a second. I
hope it doesn't rain. That's all
right? I said this when I first even saw it. I thought, even as Nintendo usually thinks outside the box, and people go, give it a chance. The kids will love it. Here's the thing: anybody that has kids knows this. Kids spill things, right? Like, this cardboard is going to be a mess. Plus, cardboard just wrinkles, crinkles, and breaks.
Mooch,
but the good thing they're replacing it for free.
No, but
but you have to wait 2 weeks to get it back.
They have Labo like features. Like, they have one of them where you wrap the cardboard around one of your Joy-Cons and you use it as a gas pedal.
Hey, I want to point out something that NPD Matt Piscatella said about Labo just earlier tonight, about not even an hour ago. He says the size, weight, and price of Labo isn't all that dissimilar to a premium Lego set. Also hits the same construction creativity notes that parents look for in gifting. Can definitely see gift spending go towards Labo that would otherwise have gone to things like Lego.
Yeah, no.
That's an interesting.
How much is it going to cost? Do you guys know?
It's expensive. I think it's $70 to $80 here, Delilah.
Cardboard? Oh,
yep, it does come with a game, but the game is a joke. They did a quick review on a few of the IGN, GameSpot, all these. They all did a quick review on it. They said that as much as they think it's a good building, like kind of like I don't know, task to do with your kids, they said once you've actually built the cardboard, the game is lackluster. So they said the most fun you got was building the cardboard. The game was very, very lackluster. So. That ultimately
Minecraft, that game's lackluster as hell.
Well, it's funny, Crow. I don't think you're going to find a lot of people here that love Minecraft, but Minecraft is adored by kids and the younger generation.
I love Minecraft, dude. I'm waiting for the graphics update.
I don't understand Minecraft. I don't think.
Yeah, when is that graphics update supposed to come out?
Dude, I have no idea. I've been searching online for it. There's nothing.
Probably got delayed. They're gonna re-announce it at E3.
They're gonna cancel
I
it
heard
like everything else.
they pushed it back because I don't know, they were having issues with it, so they decided to push it back. It was meant to come out actually, I think, when the One X was to launch.
Yeah, around that time, man.
Yeah.
Clowns, I got a question for you. Clowns actually said to me, Mooch, I have no interest in this. The Sega Mini Drive is slated to come out soon, and that's supposed to be the Sega Genesis version of the SNES Classic Mini.
Yep.
But Clowns, what was your big minus with this device?
Well, when I looked it up on who was making it at the time, it's supposed to be At Games.
Yeah.
And if At Games makes it, I'm probably not going to buy it because a lot of their stuff feels kind of cheap. And a lot of it is run off. Like, I mean, they're all emulators, but like it's really bad knockoff emulators. The only cool thing about it would be that it's easily hackable. But other than that, their stuff is really cheap.
So you're not happy with the hardware they're going to put out?
Yep. Correct.
And there is something to be said for that. So the SNES Mini Classic, we actually I decided, we talked about it on a couple podcasts. I said, screw it. We got done one time. Me and the kids, we went down, we played it. It was a lot of fun. The one thing you got that was great with the SNES Mini is the controllers. The controllers are the original controllers.
Solid.
So
yeah,
and they didn't back then. You'll love them now.
They didn't feel like cheap knockoffs either.
Not at all. And I think that's what kind of got me thinking here when Clown said that. I'm like, well, wait a minute. That's what made or kind of broke the idea of enjoying the SNES Mini. So I don't know if I would like this if the hardware is going to feel chintzy and cheap. But you guys are all Sega fans. Are you guys just buying this anyway?
No, see, Mooch. Here's the problem, in my opinion. When it comes to like this mini Sega system, Sega has so many vintage collections out there: 360, PS3, Xbox One, PS4. We're able to play those games like on multiple platforms all over the place. At least with Nintendo and their SNES Mini, their NES Mini, like there's a very focused area where you can play those. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Sega spread themselves out everywhere, and now they want you to go back and buy a vintage mini version of their system.
Like, how many games
that's
are
not going to work.
Did they announce that?
That's a good question, Delilah.
100, isn't it?
Oh, I'm buying it.
I'm guessing. I thought.
I'm with you.
Yo, Delilah was like, "That's true." When I said that, as soon as they said 100, she's like, "Shoot, I'm buying it."
Short of finding that the controller sucks. Yeah, that's really great.
Well, I am going to tell you this. I read the tweet and I actually did a story on my channel regarding it. Here's the thing. The Mega Drive version in Japan is not going to have a cartridge slot. So it's going to be a closed platform like the NES and SNES Classic, whereas our version, the Genesis, is going to have a cartridge slot. Now, they didn't go into specifics whether you'd be able to put a full-size Genesis cartridge in there and use the old games, or they're going to have like different packs of games where you can put an SD card in the side of it. Now, I think that's where Nintendo missed the boat, because it would have been really great for them to launch the system saying, okay, here's 21 games, but 3 months, 4 months from now, here's a Mario pack with all the Mario games. Here's a Mega Man pack for this. And I think that's where this is going to be different if they're going to offer that, giving you not just those closed 30 or 40 games in that console, giving you an opportunity to buy a cartridge, even in the SD card form, to put in there to add more games to your collection.
You could just do that anyway.
Well, I mean, you could hack it if you want. I mean, but like I said, it's. I think it's different, and I like that idea. And I would probably buy a mini Genesis.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
I don't know if you guys ever messed with the portable Genesis system that At Games made that sells for like $69 at Target,
yes,
whatever else. But that thing was like just a big.
But that thing used component cables.
It was.
It wasn't even HDMI.
Finding a TV for that.
No, it was portable. You didn't need a TV.
Oh, it was I bought the one that was out years ago. It's about 5 years old.
Didn't they come out with one last year that had HDMI on it?
Not a Sega.
Yeah,
that I'm aware of. They did.
Yeah, they did, and they raised the price on it too because it came with wireless controllers.
Okay, that's that. I did not know that. That's something that's beyond.
Flashback. You can get it right now.
Flashback.
It's $69.99. And it has it's a Genesis, that you can plug and play and use HDMI on it, and it has 85 games on it and two wireless Genesis controllers.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then there's a slot in there too, like Boom was saying, I think before, where you can add stuff to it. Because I messed with it, I bought it, and I did some stuff to it, and I didn't like it, so I took it back.
Well, it sounds like me, Delilah, and I'm just throwing Boom in there because he buys everything, are going to buy this thing. What do you guys think about this? I want to close it out with this. There's been a lot of announcements. We're getting weekly updates. I'm going to start it with Crap because Crap is known as Captain. He's Captain Crap. What's going on? Are we all jumping back onto our ships with the Sea of Thieves updates that are coming out?
Yeah, I mean, like I only got off the ship because of the cheaters, the PC side.
Right.
Like if they can fix that, I still would hope that they allow us to toggle that off on the console side.
It seems like they finally have Crap. Achievements are on now. They're just on.
Yeah.
I think they're on.
Yeah, well, achievements. That's good. We still didn't get ours for the 20.
No, we did not. So we got to do that. We still have to do that.
That was so funny trying to get you guys to 20. We got so distracted. We got like 7.
Yeah. We were like 3 hours.
We were laughing our asses
off. Like I like the fact that they announced the content already. Again, you've got to do a roadmap for these type of games, and you got to do a roadmap for anything really. Microsoft.
Thanks for just coming to terms with this, Microsoft. And what do you guys think? I mean, Delilah, were you ever big on Sea of Thieves?
I played it for, the first week it came out, a little bit on the second week, and I haven't touched it since. I've been too busy playing other things, like Monster Hunter World, still going back and forth with that, and also Hellblade. Which
I'm glad you bring that up.
One of the puzzles.
Oh, we got to talk.
So that whole staring at H's in the trees is real, like that.
I told you.
Crap started. Here he goes.
So whatever.
Cue the Hellblade.
Look, here's the thing. I got that first 90 gamer score. We finished that first part. I'm like, hey, not too bad because it was easy. The first thing is like in a rock or whatever, and then after that, it's like find these 2 things, and I'm an hour and a half later, I had found nothing.
Yeah, well, that part pisses me off. I don't like. That mechanic needs work. I'm sorry. I need a patch or something for that.
And Delilah, you and Crap have said this, and everyone that's talked to me that their biggest beef is the looking puzzles. My biggest complaint with the game, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. My biggest complaint was the repetition in the fighting. Oh my God. It was just slash, dodge,
you guys are
dodge,
saying
dip.
everything that made me not buy the game.
Well, no, the game is, but I do endorse it though. I think it's a lot of fun, and I thought it was unique and I know this sounds so, people may be tired of hearing it, so this is probably the last week, but you wear the headset. It is a big deal. It changes the game.
It does. The sound design is amazing.
It doesn't change the repetition or the amount of H's in trees.
There is a bit of, listen, well, first of all, the looking puzzles, for no spoilers, but halfway through the game, the looking puzzles completely get a lot easier, and there are less of them.
Wait, they're through the whole game? Oh God.
Delilah, they are, but they become
game.
easier and they become easier, don't they, Pred?
There's a few that I was like, where the fuck is this?
Yeah, there was a couple like with the
find this branch and this little tree.
This game was highly touted, like because of the sound design and some of the combat.
Right,
Delilah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it was a good
that's what I
game.
feel.
I enjoyed it.
You get where I'm going. This is why I feel like something's going on with the inflation of these scores. Like, cause come on, Hellblade is not a 9. Like,
no, it's not.
Seriously,
Delilah, what's going on this generation? A lot of people have become absolute graphic whores. If the game looks good, a lot of people don't even care.
But Rise looked good. They didn't. Come on, let's be real.
Well, here's the thing.
Right.
Now that the game's on Xbox, they're like, damn, we got to keep that same score now too. Like I swear, if you were to just sit people down, reviewers or whatever, and say, here's a basic controller, not Xbox or PlayStation, but this is an Xbox or PlayStation game you're going to play, score it, and then just be honest about it. And if it was an Xbox game, you'd probably get a more legit score. Like I felt like Ori and the Blind Forest should have got over a 90 Metacritic. It didn't.
Ori is a perfect game. That's in my top 5. Easy. Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, it's hard, but it's so good.
It's so good.
And it didn't even crack 90.
No game is perfect. Let me take that back. Yeah. It's like a 9.99.
Right.
Like it's
right.
the perfect.
No,
Yeah,
that-
even I think
Cuphead.
Cuphead got docked because it was an Xbox only game, right?
Of
I mean,
course
it's
it does. But don't forget, though, if we say this, they point the finger at us and they're like, fanboy.
Fanboy.
He's a fanboy. He's right, but he's a fanboy.
Cuphead is the game of the millennia.
Hey,
No, that would be Ori.
you
Yeah,
know,
don't worry. I agree.
I was
Go
just
ahead, Al.
looking at my Xbox dashboard because I have the console on beside me, and I scrolled across to the Mixer tab, and what do I see? God of War being promoted
oh,
There you
dude, it's
go.
gonna be promoted like hell this weekend when Mike is on
dash
there.
on
Yeah.
the dashboard, the actual
Yeah.
Xbox dashboard. It's
On
there.
Mixer? Wow. For Mixer, that's
It's unbelievable. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I say, I would love, to come full circle before we end the show. I would love for Microsoft to just come out and say, listen, we are Xbox. This is our product, but we're making money on all of them. So this is where we stand. And I mean,
Do
it would
me a
just be
favor.
nice.
Take a screenshot of that. I'm curious, dude. Like, take a screenshot, send it to me. I will post it and tag.
Well, I got my Xbox on now. I'm gonna go over to the Mixer part of the dashboard real quick.
Isn't that great? That is something to be
yep.
seen.
Yep.
Somebody tagged me and Boomstick in a picture. Snakes.
Snakes.
Snake.
Who's the
Yes.
snakes?
Yes.
I don't know no
God of War.
snakes.
Nice. God of War. That's awesome.
Net nice, guys? Yeah, on your Xbox,
Yeah.
God of War.
Yeah, that what Snakes tweeted is accurate. That's what I'm seeing on mine as
Yeah.
well.
Snakes.
Snakes.
I don't know no snakes.
I don't know.
I don't know no
Um,
snakes.
But that's awesome. So listen, we'll end the show. I know everybody wants to get to God of War, right? It's God of War
Yes.
weekend. Yes.
Game of the century.
Don't forget to call your family and hang out with them a little bit too this weekend, folks.
Wear your plugs out, Mooch. Wear
right?
your plugs. Yes.
So let's do our outros. We'll go in reverse order. I'll start with Predator. Pred, thanks for being here tonight, buddy. I actually wouldn't mind linking up with some of you guys on PS4 in a chat just to kind of bullshit because I don't even know. I don't think I've ever used a PSN.
We can play
chat.
Gang Beasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Pred, let people know where they can find you, brother.
Predator_HOS on YouTube, on Twitter, on Xbox Live, on PlayStation 4. Always, Saturdays, next podcast, and a regular guest here, it seems like. So hit me up on any of my channels, and hope to see you guys next week.
Very cool, Pred. Very cool. Listen, the beautiful, the talented Delilah. Delilah, first of all, let me just say this much. You have always supported me. You've always supported me in crap. You've been there with us since day one. So I want to say thank you, first and foremost. Number two, thank you for coming on the show as well. And I hope you'll come back.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime you want me here, I'm here. So I just want to say thank you for listening to the cast. I do appreciate it. You guys can find me on Twitter, Delilah_HD. You can also catch me on GRG on Fridays, right after this show, actually. And on Saturdays, you can catch me on noon Eastern for Grown Women Gaming. So yeah, thanks. Oh, a quick question for the panel though. Is anyone here going to E3?
Maybe.
I wish. I wish.
Well, what Alan doesn't realize is I have a life-size luggage container that he thinks is just his camera equipment.
'Cause I was just saying, I would just definitely want to kind of, meet up with you guys and stuff like that. Chop it up.
Heck yeah. Well, actually, Delilah, you're East Coast, right? I've been trying to see if we can get something when there is. I know there's PAX East, but maybe if there's any other event that ever comes this way, if we all can kind of
That's a
meet.
stretch. I don't know. Like they don't come this way for whatever reason.
No, I know. You know what? I'm gonna have you back on the show when we get into that because like everyone always thinks it's good. By the way, love all of our West Coast, gamers and friends.
Yeah,
I
no
just think it
shade.
would be nice. No shade at all. I just wish that we could get. There is a different mantra, and even from New York to Atlanta, there's a different thought process in the way that everybody lives, and that's good. I actually get a lot of my news. I giggled and laughed when I said this at MNC last week. I get a lot of my news from the UK in gaming because I like a different perspective.
Yeah.
I just do.
Than the
And
California
then
perspective.
it's not even California. It's the San Francisco potato
Yes.
chip crumb on the
UK
map.
is more technical with their reviews. They're
Yes,
they're way more technical. Like they look at things in a different scope than we do.
They do, and I appreciate it.
That are really not tens.
Yeah, and I mean, there's definitely a different New England vibe, right? I mean, like Xbot, there's definitely that may be why you have these great debates with some folks because there is a thought process of the way that we are here, and it's different than the way that people are in Texas versus the way they are in Cali. So,
Oh man, we're built to argue, dude.
yeah, well, it's so cold here that we have to debate all day long.
Exactly.
For about 9 months. So it is what it is. But no, Delilah, thank you for being here, and I will be asking you to come on again. Hopefully, you will. I really appreciate it. And one of my usual suspects, the Italian stallion down in Where is he in Florida? Who knows? But they're apparently making watered down calzones. Clowns, thanks for being here, buddy. Where can they find you and Four Guys?
Just search for us on Google. 4 Guys with Quarters every Thursday, 7 or 7:30 p.m.
Awesome, Clown.
Yep.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. And then Xbot 448, never to be confused with 844. Buddy, where can they find you?
Yeah, well, I'm doing next podcast tomorrow on my channel on YouTube, Xbox 448. It's every Saturday 7 p.m. We are doing something special for our boy Matt, community member, Xbox Addict. So I definitely want to see a bunch of people in there tomorrow. Little something I cooked up. I actually wanted to have him on the show at some point in time. So tune into that. Predator's going to be there. K Mega, of course. The Don.
Great.
Kiss the ring.
Kiss that ring.
But yeah, it's always fun. We got gameplay going, gaming news, all that good stuff. It's definitely something different than the normal gaming podcast. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out.
I'm a huge fan of Next Podcast, and let me tell you what else I'm a huge fan. That intro you have is still the best intro in YouTube. So yes, please keep that up.
I got so many people talking about the music on my channel. Huge shout out to all my supporters, people who subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate all the praises and stuff like that come from just doing videos, live streams, and of course the next podcast, because the next podcast would not be as good as it is without the panel. The panel is the heart of that show. Yeah.
That I totally agree, Xbot. Signore Bombastic, he buys and plays everything. He probably doesn't even talk to his brother anymore. Boom.
What's up,
great.
dude?
Listen, promote the channel, man. You had some great videos out today.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, if you can find me on Twitter, I'm talking all day long. I must have tweeted about 200 times today. It's
You're
ridiculous.
on fire, buddy.
And check out my channel. I dropped an unboxing video that I thought came out pretty good for the God of War Collector's Edition. It got some good traction with the community. I get a lot of great positive feedback from it. So thank you for that. And always, it's always great to be here with friends talking games. And it's Friday night would not be the same without CrossFire.
I appreciate that, Boom. Thank you. And I will be checking out your video. I asked Boom earlier. I said, Boom, did you do a full body in there or just a hand modeling? He said it's a little bit of both. So you and him are going to go in for hand model 2018. We'll see who wins it, buddy.
You get to see my pad. It looks pretty good in camera, to be honest.
Very cool, Boom. Everybody check it out, please. And then I've got my buddy Alan Walsh, Full Throttle. Alan, thanks for being here tonight. Where can people find you?
Yeah, no, it's Boom Potted. Friday nights wouldn't be the same without CrossFire. So yeah, my social media is at Beetle Comment. The website is fullthrottlemedia.co.uk, and it's been a bit of a hectic week actually, but I did get an invite to the Xbox E3 briefing in my emails, which was very, very nice. So I'm currently trying to figure out if I can actually get there, because it is an expensive, trip and that, but I'm hoping to try and have everything sorted, hopefully within the next 2 weeks anyways.
Plus, I think you had a birthday recently, so you're old enough to drink.
That's right.
Here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There you go, folks. You see Alan, you buy him a shot.
Yes.
All right. That's what we do over here, Alan. No, Alan, thank you very much. And certainly not least, my co-host on MNC Mornings and Xbox Nation, Crap Gamer. Crap, where can people find you this weekend?
Crap Gamer reviews. We're doing a special tribute to Xbox Addict Sunday on MNC Mornings on my channel, and then Xbox Nation's Wednesday at 8 on my channel. So looking forward to everybody going there and checking those things out. It should be some good stuff. We're going to do a nice little tribute, and then we're going to also make you guys laugh and have a good time as well. So
absolutely. I do want to point out the Crap. This is the first time we are leaving in a long time with 200 likes on the show. So that's great. Thank you.
Hey, that is good.
Very cool. Appreciate it, everybody.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Totally appreciate it.
This podcast gets a 10 out of 10 from IGN.
Those Falcons fans, man, they showed up.
No, I just want to say thank you to everybody, and our hearts and all of our love go out to Xbox Addict and his family again. And we will see you guys on Sunday morning. Please do tune in. Thank you in game this weekend. Peace, everybody.
Later.
Peace.